Mission First Tactical is the official tactical accessories provider for the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade. Use the code LEADHEAD for an exclusive 20% discount on all orders.
All right, Lead Heads. Welcome back to another episode of the Talking Lead podcast. I'm your host, Lefty. We have been bringing you the legislation for damn near 13 years now, and we really appreciate all you longtime lead heads that have been a part of the show. And we've got a great lineup for you today. We're going to be talking long range. We're going long today with our topic. And to do that, I have brought in the experts, as usual, because I'm not an expert on anything. We have the experts joining us today, and these are all veterans of the show. And one of them we're welcoming back. It's been a while since he's been on, so we'll give him the traditional Leadhead welcome back. But I'll start at my bottom and work my way up to the top. All the way from Texas, we got Charlie Melton. Charlie's a former U.S. Navy Senior Chief Petty Officer, born in Macon, Georgia. Joined the Navy at 19, completed Buds class. He was class 176. Served with SEAL Delivery Vehicle Team 2. And if I get any of this wrong, interrupt me, okay?
All right.
And SEAL Team 5, as leading Chief Petty Officer of SEAL Sniper School. He earned a Bronze Star, Purple Heart, and was named Sailor of the Year for all SEAL teams. Charlie made a world record attempt, which I was with him when he attempted this, for 6,500 yard shot. He is the owner of Charlie Mike Precision, specializing in long-range rifle, pistol, and carbine courses. He has been on many episodes of the Talking Lead podcast. And he did make a record long shot of 5,025 yards with our other guest that's joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big welcome to Charlie Melton.
Hey.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, Charlie.
Pleasure being on here. It's been a while.
Introduce your buddy there that you got, your new buddy.
Oh yeah, this is Rip, my new sidekick. Rip.
Hey, Rip.
He's like, what?
I think many of our listeners are familiar with Rip's. Is it his dad?
No, just the same blood. Ragnar, probably.
Okay, yeah, Ragnar.
Ragnar was the last one. He got bit by a water moccasin and killed him.
Oh, shit. You don't have the best of lucks with your dogs.
Yeah, I ain't had one make it past 4 years yet.
It's tough being Charlie's dog.
It is. Tough life.
Tough, hard knock life. Also joining us, coming back for it's like your fourth or fifth time, Jim. We're glad to have you back. Jim is a former 2nd Battalion, 69th Armor Regiment, United States Army sniper and master sergeant, renowned for the longest confirmed sniper kill with a 7.62 at 1,367 yards in Ramadi, Iraq in 2005. Led the 3rd Infantry Division Sniper Section, recognized as the best in Iraq that year. A key figure in Army Small Arms Deployment at Fort Benning. He's appeared in Soldier of Fortune, Ultimate Sniper 3, and Trigger Time. He's the former director of U.S. Optics Academy. And featured on the Talking Lead podcast for his sniper knowledge, his survival knowledge. We did a cool survival episode with Mr. Gilliland. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in James Gilliland.
Hey. How you doing, folks?
And is the wife there too? Do we need to recognize her?
She's outside. I don't know. She's outside doing something. Probably walking the dog or something.
Taking the trash out?
Yeah, she was taking the trash out. I'll be in trouble for that one.
Yeah, don't blame it on me. But yeah, we're glad to have you back for this episode. This is going to be a beyond the basics episode. I think a lot of our listeners are familiar with the basics of shooting and long range, but we're going to kind of delve in a little bit deeper and your backgrounds as well. And hopefully you guys got some stories that you can share with us. And to help with the ballistic side of things, we've brought in world-renowned expert from Performance Guns. It is our longtime friend and friend of the show, Brad Starr. Brad is a master gunsmith and owner of Performance Guns in West Haven, Utah. He's a legend in precision rifle crafting. Hails from San Antonio, Texas. Is that true? You come from San Antonio?
It's true.
Okay. Let's see. I lost my place. Starr started machining at 12, inventing cartridges at 17. He has created over 250 Wildcat Tejas rounds, including the 408 Tejas, which, Charlie, isn't that the one that we were trying to get that?
Yes, sir. That's the one we made the 5,000 yard shot with, too.
That was the 5,000? Okay.
We were trying it at the 6,000.
His custom rifles, known for sub 3.8 MOA accuracy. That's fucking accurate. He's renowned in the elite long-range circles, military circles, and hunting scenes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our good buddy, Brad Starr. Brad, welcome in. And you do some long-range shooting yourself.
I do.
You did a collaboration with Ritter and Stark. You nailed 4,016 yard shot.
Yeah, Charlie was there.
Oh.
Factory gun, factory ammo.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in Roswell, wasn't it?
No, we went there next. That was still after you. We were
Oh,
shooting.
yeah. That's right.
Right at Dugway, shooting at their gate.
Oh, yep.
Shooting at whose gate?
Yeah.
The gate outside of the base.
Did they come out and question you?
Just a couple of them.
Just a couple of them. Nothing too serious.
Nah, we knew.
They bring their alien friends with them.
They were in their pockets, yeah. They did ask about elevation of the shot, but we kept it below restricted airface. So,
Is that what you told them?
Yeah, 500 feet.
yeah, 480.
480.
Yeah, if they can't see the bullet, I'm not telling them.
When do we get into the stratosphere? When does
65.
65,000.
6,500, yeah. Well, not the stratosphere, but yeah. Substrat. Well, we did have to stop shooting because we had some low flyers come in going to the bombing range.
Mm.
So-
And some horses, some wild horses.
so
Yeah.
you've never hit that stratosphere, have you?
We're 2,800 feet.
I mean, we can't say that on the show.
Yeah.
2,800 feet's the peak.
You'd be shooting a long ways if you hit that.
Yeah.
Do you have to get a special permit or anything like that when you're?
Well, suppose you got to file a NOTAMs or whatever if you're going above restricted airspace with any projectiles.
Yeah.
So technically, yes, you got to stay below 500 feet.
Notice to airmen. So
It was on the bullet.
it was on the bullet. Did you have a little blinker
Yeah.
on the?
Yeah.
It was written on the bullet.
It was written on the bullet. So let's start with James. Jim, how did you get into? Was the military your first exposure to doing long range shooting?
Yeah, I mean, to do real long range shooting, yes. Of course, when I was a kid or whatever, I always wanted to be the explosive sniper expert or got whatever when we played Army. So, but as far as the long range stuff, I was in 375. I was actually in a mortar section my first 2 years in the Ranger Regiment or whatever. And I went out and I was interested in it. Went out and bought a Remington 700 PSS in 308. Started doing some long range stuff. Started talking to our snipers in our unit or whatever. And then got back from Ranger School and I was able to change my MOS and ended up talking to those guys and changed my MOS to 11 Bravo and then went over to the sniper section and stayed over there for a year. And learned that's really where I delved into the long range shooting and started getting more technical with it and understanding, all of the things that go along with it. And then a couple years later, I was in the Third Infantry Division in 269. I'd got a call to ask if I would stand up a sniper section over there. And so I went over there and stood up a sniper section, did a selection course, and then took all my guys over to Iraq for that year. And that's where we did the long shot. And then the sniper section got recognized as the most successful sniper section in Iraq, 2005. So, yeah, it was the Army is what really brought me into the long range shooting, and I've done, I've been competitive since when I was still in them, and then after I've got out, my wife and I got into the PRS NRL type shooting, and have really enjoyed it. So I think the bug bit her way harder than it did me. She's still super active into it, where I've started running more matches now than I'm shooting, but I still enjoy shooting.
Yeah. Now, do you guys compete in those like team sniper competitions? Like Mammoth is coming up.
So we have talked about doing a couple of different team matches. And we haven't shot a regular team match together yet. Still talking about it. We just got to find the right one. Melissa's not going to shoot the Mammoth.
Okay.
So we'd have to find one a little more benign than Mammoth or whatever. Even though I think she would do great at it, I don't think there'd be any issues with it or whatever. But
yeah, well, it's I think it's in Virginia in January. It's gonna be a little cold.
Yeah, they usually set them up in the shitty part of the world in the shitty time of the season. So yeah, it's part of it's part of the lure.
I had a couple of guys on a few episodes back from Warhorse Ballistics, and they're teaming up and they're going to do it.
It's a pretty cool match.
Sounds like it.
It's gotten to be run very, very well.
I'm interested in going just to witness it.
Sure.
Go and follow those guys. Maybe do some documenting of it. But yeah, it sounds pretty interesting.
Yep.
So the Army, that year that you were named the best sniper unit, who was in your unit with you during that?
So we had a total of 10 of us. I was the section leader. I had 3 team leaders. That was Sam Hortzman, Brad Finney, and Seneca Locklear were the 3 team leaders I had. And then they had 2 snipers each. So they had 2 shooters each. And it was put me on the spot here.
I did.
We had.
You don't have to name everybody. I didn't know if there might be notable people.
So I mean, well, it's incredible. Some of my guys have gone on to do very, very good stuff in the Army. Some of the guys got out shortly after or whatever. Sure. Notably, the sniper section, the original sniper section from 375, after they were stood up, is probably some of the most lethal snipers that are on the planet, militarily speaking, and have gone on to do amazing things in both military and civilian stuff. These guys are unwritten heroes and legends that were in that original sniper section. We just did a reunion when 375 had their reunion back in October or whatever last year. We all got together. Most of us got together, whatever. It's the first time we've all been back together in 20 years or so. Some of the guys work together in different places and different times, but there's, like I said, most of 80+% of the sniper section went on to make very, very big military names for themselves, and then continue that into the civilian sector. So, but yeah, I've been around a lot of really, really interesting long range guys.
Yeah. Very cool. And I want to ask you, obviously, the shot. I want to
Sure.
talk a little bit about that. But before we do that, I want to talk to Charlie here. Charlie, talk a little bit about how, your first experience with when we say long range, it's all subjective, I guess, to who you're talking to.
Yes, sir.
But with you being a Texas boy,
Yep.
actually Georgia, I think.
Yeah, Georgia boy originally.
Georgia boy originally, which they still do a lot of shooting down there too.
Yep.
Talk about your kind of your travels into getting, going to the Navy and getting into the sniper portion of that.
Yeah, so I wanted to be a spec ops guy ever since I was a little kid. So I grew up shooting, and about long range, obviously we tried to shoot as far as we can with Kentucky windage, but we didn't have any skills back then. But it definitely taught you about sight alignment and trigger pull and all that. So that kind of transferred all over. So I always wanted to join. I figured out I want to be a Navy SEAL, and then I always wanted to be a sniper. So when I finished Navy SEAL training, I went to my first platoon. Back then, you had to do 2 deployments before they would even send you to sniper school. So after my second deployment, I got sent to sniper school, and then it's pretty much a sniper the rest of my time in.
Where were you deployed?
I've been all over Iraq, Afghanistan, the Philippines, Africa, Europe, Northern Europe. Like we deployed to Spain a lot when I was with the STV team.
Yeah.
And then when I was the STV team too, that's the little underwater submersibles. We pretty much started the recon and surveillance teams there, where we started launching snipers from the back of the STV off a big submarine. So it's like a really stealthy way to insert and extract. And then
off of submarines.
Yep.
Okay, we got to talk more about that. So,
but you know what an SDV, a SEAL delivery vehicle?
I know the term, but don't they vary on what those are?
Yeah, well, no, there's only one kind, but it's a wet submarine. But on a big submarine, there's like a garage on the back, so you can park it in there and flood up, flood down. But when you're in the SDV, it actually floods all the way up, and you're on scuba gear or rebreathers for your transfer in and back.
I'm gonna pull up an image of it here.
Yeah, looks like a big coffin.
As you're talking about it, it's like a big coffin. It's like a torpedo.
Yeah, like a giant torpedo.
They basically just torpedo you out.
Definitely the coldest, most miserable job in the SEAL team.
Here, let's see if this is. There we go.
Yeah, just your insert and extract would be 12 hours each sometimes.
How many men fit in this?
The pilot navigator sit up front, and you can put 6 in the back. But you're packed in like sitting log style. And then you got all your rucksacks and sniper rifles. All that. It's pretty tight quarters.
What's the range on one of those?
It's classified.
Okay. Is that a missile, or is that the gear storage thing where I'm? If you could see where my mouse is.
On the right side, is that a side scan sonar? Oh, those are probably the bombs. So yeah, that one thing's a LAM or whatever, modular explosive system. So you can go in, bottom up under a ship, plant that, and leave, and it'll sync up to an aircraft carrier.
Oh wow! Holy shit! Oh my gosh! So how much is it? May be classified too on how much the weight is, the gear that you can carry in this thing.
Yeah, you can carry 6 passengers with all your gear and stuff, but it's just like when you're scuba diving, you got to get in the water and make sure everything's ballasted at a certain depth, so everything's weightless. Yeah,
we could spend a whole other show talking about this kind of stuff. But to get to your missions, this is the typical way that you guys were deployed to get to your target.
Yeah, you can bottom out at a pier or tie past the surf zone, bottom it out, tie it off to the bottom, and swim over the beach, or you can bottom up under ships, do shipboarding. I mean, it's very versatile.
That's pretty cool right there. Hey there, Leadheads. It's your old pal Lefty with a special offer just for you Leadheads. Our friends at Gold's Gym, Tennessee are bringing the heat. Sign up at any gym for just $1 enrollment and get a free personal training session to kickstart your gains. You're not just working out, you're tapping into elite equipment, group classes to push your limits, and recovery perks like saunas and those world-famous hydro massage beds. This is fitness for strength and readiness, Leadhead style. 16 locations across Tennessee, from Knoxville to Memphis, Chattanooga to Nashville. Hit up goldsgym.com or call 615-956-6016, extension 2, to find your closest goals. Sling iron, lift heavy, and get the gun show ready for summer, Leadheads, at Gold's Gym, Tennessee. 615-956-6016. 6016 extension 2. Tell them Lefty sent you. So what I want to do is I kind of want to talk about, I want you guys to talk about the training that you got from the Army, from the Navy, and maybe talk about maybe the differences, maybe where you cross paths, kind of deal. So, Charlie, if you would, talk about the training that you got in the Navy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we definitely were both in Ramadi. We missed each other in Ramadi. I think I was there 06.
Right.
Yeah, we just missed each other. Yeah, our training, I think our sniper school is like 26 weeks long, and it's probably one of the hardest courses in the SEAL teams.
What are the pre-qualifications to get into?
Usually you got to be usually they send the top shooters in the platoon or whatever, like all the drills and all the shooting we do all the time with pistols and ARs. So whoever the top shooters are people that are usually good at shooting. Those are the guys they're usually send.
Yeah.
Yes.
Typically, how many people are in a class?
It varies anywhere from 10 to like 15, probably 15 max.
Yeah. Talk about some of the courses and drills and things that you guys go through.
Yeah, so there's back when Warrant Officer Johnson ran it when I went through the East Coast one. Yeah, you had to do time like tank trail runs and all that every morning at like 4 a.m. It was a pretty strenuous course. Yeah, probably I'd say 50% make it through.
Yeah, so pretty high washout rate.
Yeah, really high.
Yeah, and as far as did you guys train in teams, and did you have to cross train with spotter, shooter kind of thing?
Yep, you had to do both spotting and shooting. So you paired up with a partner during the whole course.
What was your training rifle that you used?
We had a whole suite. So we had obviously we had the SR-25, the 308 magazine fed. Then we had a 308 bolt gun. Then we had a 300 Win Mag bolt gun and a 50 cal bolt gun.
And you just switch out on those depending on what the.
Well, during training, during sniper course, you go through a week of each, like shooting all the different like unknown distance movers, snaps,
That's
movers,
the kind of
and all that
details
stuff.
I want to hear. Talk about that kind of stuff. What were you actually going through to get the training? What were they teaching you? What were they showing you?
Yeah, so
what were you using?
With the modern sniper school, the first 2 weeks of it's all comm stuff. It was like a pick course where you learn how to send pictures over the internet and all that stuff. And then after that, you have your stalking or your shooting phase on all your different weapon systems. And then you have where you go through snaps and movers, unknown distance. Then you have to hit all the targets all the way out to 1,000 yards. And then after that, you go through the stalking, which stalking gets most people. So the stalking is probably the hardest part of sniper school.
And what is that?
So you basically got 8 instructors on binos on a table, like up on a hill or something, standing out, and then they launch you like a click or two away, and you got to make your way up within 200 yards of the instructors without being seen, and then you got to set up your final firing position, and then you fire one blank. Well, once you set up, you tell them you're ready to make your first shot. So then they have walkers out in the field, so they'll walk a guy within 3 yards of you, and then everybody on the table looks around that guy, and then you got to take a second shot without them seeing anything move or anything.
Do you have to get through that to actually pass the course, or
to pass? Yeah, you got to pass stalking. I think you get like 3 tries.
Yeah, and how did yours go when you were doing it?
Mine went good. I was always good. I grew up in the woods, so.
Did you get through on your first try?
Yes, sir.
Very cool.
I was actually top.
Walk me, if you can remember it. Walk me through when you were doing your stalking portion of that. Where'd you start? What were you wearing?
Yeah, so at the beginning, you start off. You always have a ghillie suit that you have to make during the course. So you got a ghillie suit. Then the biggest thing is using natural veg when you set up your final firing position, and then you have a drag bag that you drag behind you because you're pretty much crawling the whole way, depending on the terrain you're stalking in. And then you got your little clippers.
You and a spotter?
No, it's just you during stalking. You're by yourself.
Just okay, you're by yourself. It's a single kind of deal.
Yep.
Nice. So talk about distance that you started, and then
Yeah, so we'd start depending on the terrain or where the tree line was at. You'd start usually in the tree line a little ways, and then they'd usually be set up across a big open field. But obviously, you got terrain features, so you can use your dead space and everything. And that's the key: is learn how to use your dead space, and then use your natural veg when you're setting up your final firing position.
how long's that usually? I mean, it's different for everybody, but how long did it take you from start to finish? What was the time?
It's usually about a 4 or 5 hour ordeal for one stock.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep.
And this whole time they're watching you, they're scanning the field, and if they detect you, then you're busted.
Yep.
You're out.
You fail the stock automatically if you get seen.
Is it just
and you have boundaries. You have boundaries too. You can't go outside of.
And is it just one sniper at a time, or is it a group of people doing it at the same time?
The whole class starts at the same time. So you got 15 people, up to 15 people out there crawling around and knocking shit down.
So inevitably, I mean, somebody's going to get.
Oh yeah, somebody gets caught every time.
Oh wow! So it's kind of luck of the draw too, on that.
Yeah. Yep. Learn how to use your dead space and your final firing position is probably the two most
Know what's
important
behind
things.
you. Yeah, know what's behind you.
Yeah. Yeah, your background's very important.
So Jim, talk about yours with the Army.
No, it was the same. Just, the Army's changed their schools several times since I went way long time ago. So when I went, it was a 5-week course, kind of the same thing. One of the biggest misconceptions that a lot of non-snipers have, especially non-military guys or whatever, is it's all about the shooting aspect or whatever, and the whole understanding of a sniper team is an observation piece. It's a intelligence gathering apparatus more than it's a direct fire capability. I mean, you have a direct fire capability, but it's usually more about confirming or denying certain targets or giving last minute human intel on a target before the operational team hits it or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest misconception. I mean, don't get me wrong. We learn how to shoot, and we're generally pretty damn good at it. But that's not usually the primary role of a sniper team or section. It's usually an observation piece. But yeah, it's kind of the to bounce off of what Charlie was saying. It's the same, basically the same thing. We do, a lot of communication stuff. We did when I went, we only had the M24. The M110s hadn't come back in yet. The 300 Win Mags hadn't got in yet. They weren't in service yet. So we had the M24s, which is what I used when I was overseas. And the guys right behind us in 06 came in with the M110s or the SR25s, whatever. But we did a bunch of communication stuff. We did target identification stuff or whatever, where they'd, we'd be online with a pair of binoculars or whatever, and they would set a scenario out in front of us. And there'd be 10 or 15 items, and we'd have to, look and find these 10 or 15 items and draw a sketch sheet out of what was in front of us and where it was at and what it appeared to be. We did, the snaps and the movers. We did the static shooting, the stalking. So, I mean, typically speaking, most military type sniper courses are very, very similar. They all have, kind of the same goals and expectations. Some are a little longer, some are a little more technical, and some are broad stroke. The regular Army sniper school is essentially to get the average shooter into the mindset of understanding what they need to learn how to do. So they teach you just enough to be dangerous and not enough to be a true professional at the craft. So it really depends on you as an individual and the guys that are in your section or units, whatever, to bring you forward into where you really, really need to be. So
talk about your your path to the sniper group, to the 365th that what it was?
370 when I was in 375, yeah, 3rd Ranger Battalion. So
what's the selection process for that?
So it was, especially when they pulled. So right before I went, they had all platoon sniper or all company level platoon snipers, and just whoever was qualified at the time in each platoon. If they needed snipers, then they'd call them out. And then 375 did a big consolidation piece or whatever, and they pulled all of the snipers, all the TONE equipment, unit sniper equipment. They pulled it into one platoon, and they made it a dedicated sniper platoon, so these guys could train specifically as snipers. And so each company gave up a couple of guys, and they had a selection course for it. But and one of the things that I did, and I kind of mimicked that too for what I did with my course. I mean, we had some physical events. I mean, we did a PT test and a road march, and we did some some physical barrier things, whatever, to make sure the guys were fit or whatever. But it was all about personality for us. It's who fit in with us best personality wise, because you can train anybody how to shoot, you can teach anybody how to run a radio, you can teach anybody how to do a lot of those technical things or whatever. But if their personality doesn't fit with everybody else, and you don't think they're going to be a good sniper or a long gunner, then it doesn't matter. I mean, because it's definitely a personality type that truly that clicks or whatever. They really, really understand, and they can really dive into it. There's a pretty specific personality piece that goes in with that. You got the brawlers that make really, really good assaulters, and you've got the higher thinking finesse guys that are really, really good at long gunning, and you guys that can go back and forth. I mean, I enjoyed both aspects of it or whatever, but I just felt like my niche was much better doing long range stuff, because I enjoyed it a lot more than I did anything else.
Yeah. So as far as the Army and Navy, is there any cross training that goes on with these different military sniper groups?
It really depends. Big Army, no. There's very, very little to no cross training, and so you got your Big Army stuff where your 101st, your 82nd, your 4th ID, 25th ID, all of your infantry units or whatever in a Big Army, and then you got your special operations guys. You got your your regular white SF guys or whatever, and then you've got the Ranger Battalion and some other groups or whatever. And a lot of times now, the special operations guys will cross train with each other at different places, or there are opportunities for them to do that. But largely speaking, in the Big Army, in a regular Army unit, you may get to train with a different battalion, but unless you are specifically, unless you sign up specifically for the Mammoth, or you sign up specifically for one of these matches or whatever, or get to go to a school, and outside of the military school, like Hat Creek or something like that, you really don't get to train with anybody else. I mean, what you have is what the Army has given you, what the guy before you knows, and it's a very closed box thing, and it's one of the things that I really tried to get out of when I was doing the marksmanship stuff. And it's hard to tell sergeant majors and colonels that their E5s and their staff sergeants don't know what they're talking about. We're supposed to be the greatest the greatest force in the world or whatever, and professional NCOs, and that's awesome. And they know a lot of what they know. The problem is they have no idea what they don't know, and that can be very dangerous.
Yeah. When you guys, and this is for both of you, and Brad, I muted you, but feel free to jump in anytime you want to. Just unmute yourself and jump in. When it comes to the different terrains, there's different areas of the world that you guys are being deployed at. And again, obviously you're not going to give away any secrets or anything like that, but just common knowledge stuff, or maybe some that people don't know that you can share. How do you guys prepare for the different terrains and the camos and the movements prior to going to maybe some unknown terrain type area?
Yeah, well, during our workups, it's a 1.5 year workup when you're with your platoon. So we train in all different environments, being SEALs or whatever. So yeah, we train in desert, jungle. We'll find wherever we're deploying to, we'll find similar places to train. And we have like a desert training facility out in Arizona. So that kind of simulated Iraq and all that. But yeah, we train in different environments during that whole workup.
Yeah, and I can imagine, an urban setting,
Yep.
there's going to be a whole lot different
Oh, yeah.
philosophies of how you're going to do things versus the jungle or the open desert, kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And a lot of that, you have contingency for everything, right? And everybody does for what they do. So, like for one of the, we had a regular pack, and we had our heavy ghillie suits that were made for Georgia, where we were or whatever, or any deciduous forest area that we were going to. But then we had, ultra light stuff that we'd carry, little leafy stuff or whatever, or, we had different type scenarios, kits or whatever set up and for each environment we go into. And on top of that, we take, we went to the local hobby store or whatever and bought the model tank and airplane paint. It was just little cans or whatever we could throw, 10 different colors in whatever, and we just throw our stuff out and look around the best we could and spray paint over the top of whatever with the colors we needed for that environment.
Rattle can it.
The original Cerakote.
That's right. That's right. When it gets scratched up, it's easy to replace. All right.
Yep.
So, but yeah, you have a contingency for everything, and when going from from one place, from jungle to urban, or from deciduous forest to desert or whatever. You have to understand that a lot of the stuff that you may have brought with you don't work, or you have to augment it to work with what you're going into. So
what would
we
you
carried.
say? No, go ahead.
So one of the things that we ran into is when we were in Ramadi in 2005, we were BDUs instead of DCUs, and everybody was kind of wondering why in the world would you do that? And like, well, when we started off the first half of our deployment, we were in Bakuba and a bunch of orange orange tree plantations, and we were doing a bunch of stuff specifically at night. So the dark uniforms would just blend in better with that. And then when we got into Ramadi, we kind of went back and forth a lot of times. But when we always moved at night, and we always infield at night or whatever, walked out where we were going, so we wore dark uniforms for that. And when you're in a building, you wore dark clothes because you wanted to be dark inside the building where you're at, and so you fit in rather than wearing some the DCUs, which is just a lighter colored uniform. And we did have plenty of times we wore our desert camo or whatever, but we wore a regular BDUs a lot while we were overseas, and it was just a simple trade-off. There was no there's no ghillie suits, there was no crazy things that we took with us on all of that. It was just a regular uniform. You laid it outside for a while and it got dirty, or you sweat into it, and the colors will change or whatever else, and it helps a lot to blend into wherever you're going.
Yeah. What would you say was or maybe was for you guys? What was the most challenging terrain that you had to deal with? You go to Charlie.
I'd say the most challenging would be an urban environment. I mean, especially in Ramadi, like we weren't doing traditional 2-person sniper ops. I mean, we're going in with a whole fucking platoon, taking over a building, and then the snipers would go up to the roof or wherever and set up a hide or somewhere in the building. So it wasn't a traditional.
We never traveled less than 4. We always had 4 when we would walk out or whatever. And the reason we pick 4 or whatever is because you'd have one dude on the radio, and you got 3 left, and you got one dude spotting, like actually actively watching. You had one guy on the gun, and you had one guy that rested, and that was it. That was the absolute minimum number that we felt like we could take. So at any one time, you had the potential of 2 shooters, one radio guy and one guy at rest. Because when you're going out for 36, 48, 72 hours or whatever, if you've got to sleep during that time. And we found that you really, really, especially when you're looking through a spotting scope with one eye, you get burnt out really fast, especially how bright it is out there, and you have to rotate through. And we were very specific, and when it was your turn to rest, you'd have headphones on. Nobody had headphones anyway. I mean, we absolutely no radios, nothing like that, because we needed you to be fully engaged. It was 4 dudes in Ramadi, a town of 400-something thousand, and they hated you. It was a very non-permissive environment in Ramadi. while we were there. I mean, we were actively being hunted, especially after we established ourselves and really started working. It was, I mean, we were not the the cool guys in town on the bad guy side anymore.
Yeah.
But it was the urban side, and it's always a 360 fight. You know, at least when you're out in the woods somewhere or whatever, there's a lot of things you can use to your advantage, and you can block off a lot of areas. Kind of understanding there's probably nobody over there. In an urban environment, you can't do that. I mean, it is above you, below you, and all the way around you.
Everybody's looking for you.
And everybody's looking for you. Yep.
Yeah, no, like in a traditional sniper scenario, you would never take us more than one shot from a position anyway. But
Right.
over there, the reason we travel with a whole platoon took over buildings, we'd have multiple sites set up too, because by the time the sun came up, they figured out where we were because we were making more than one shot from that position.
Yep.
Obviously, so we'd end up getting in a firefight every morning, leaving the target. So.
Yep.
That's why we traveled with so many people. So it was definitely a different kind of sniper mission.
Certainly.
And how many people did you guys travel with, Charlie, as the SEALs?
We usually have 16 team guys, and then we'd have our EOD guys, and then we'd always have to take a couple of our actives with us too. So usually around 20, 22 people. Translator.
That's a lot. That's a lot to try to be stealthy with.
Yeah. Like I said, they're gonna and you're shooting multiple times, like all night, all morning, all night long. So they eventually figure out where you're at. Then they would drive around, start beeping the horns in front of the house. That's when you know it's about to come.
Yep. You get kids to run out in the house and everything else. Yeah.
Talk about your preparation, your pre-preparation. How you would pick the buildings or locations for your teams. What went into that? Was it just people are operating, so we got to set up over here?
Yeah. So through intel, you'd figure out where the guys were doing their meetings or swapping out ordnance or rounds or guns or whatever. So we'd figure out strategic places, obviously with some elevation around that area, and then we'd go in the middle of the morning or whatever, set up, and then once the sun come up, you'd start getting activity moving around and stuff. So.
Yeah, that's kind of the same way with us too. We did a lot of our own walk around. We spent the first 3, 4, 5 weeks, the first month anyway, that we were in Ramadi, doing a lot of movement. We had a lot, we had some shooting going on in early or whatever, but we just watched. We watched a lot of life, just to see. And it's like, it's a hunting scenario, and just like anything else, and I've said it over and over and over again, is if you know where your prey sleeps, where they eat, and where they drink water, all you got to do is get between those things, and they're going to move right past you.
Yep. Yeah, another one of the big things we look for after the first mission, because we were there during the winter, it was actually snowing like the day before Christmas. So the first one we found didn't have electricity or whatever, so we all froze to death. So our new SOP was to find a place with electricity and heat.
So, I mean, there's obviously long hours involved with this, and like you were talking, Jim, you get eye fatigue. What do you do to help with the fatigue? Is there nutrition? Is there training? Are there aids that you guys can use? How do you combat the fatigue?
I think,
and don't say containing coffee.
Well, no, it's kind of like the more you do it, the more you get used to it. But and you always got to shoot your shooting buddy. So we'd spend 3 hours on, 3 hours off the gun, so you could rest your eyes and stuff. And there's little tricks, like if you look at like green grass or anything green, it kind of relaxes your eyes a lot. There's all kind of little tricks you can do like that, and obviously a good diet helps.
What kind of tricks did you use, Jim?
It's kind of the same thing. Is once you get into into doing it or whatever, you just kind of get used to it. It's like you talk to anybody that works a night shift, or you talk to anybody whatever, and it just becomes normal. And our biggest limitation for us was water or batteries. I mean, we would stock up on as much as possible. We wouldn't take a whole lot to eat, but we'd take everything we could to drink, and enough as much batteries as we could. Whenever the water got low, so either we started shooting people, the water got low or we started running out of batteries, we always had to come home. Those were our three things that said that we needed to come home. And Ramadi, being what Ramadi was at the time, it was usually because we were shooting people. So we had a good QRF set up to where, there was a lot of times, it wasn't a whole lot of one-on-one, like shoot one guy, having whatever. There were always multiple person engagements that we would do. But as soon as the shooting started, like as soon as we would call in after the first shot and be like, hey, we're in contact, that would set the QRF in order to get ready to come get us. And so they were already staging themselves or whatever. And so as soon as we called and be like, engagement's over or whatever, they would launch to us. And we were inside, because we were in Ramadi proper. We had about 2,000 by 2,000 square meters that we were into, so they could get to us pretty quick. And we were really, really, really careful.
That parameter, how many typical buildings? I mean, you probably got dozens.
It's built up. I mean, like I said,
it's a big city.
Yeah, Ramadi's 400-something thousand people. It was one of the. It was a very, very educated town there in Saddam's area. There's a bunch of law offices. There was a bunch, universities were there, and there were several different times. Funny enough, interesting enough about Ramadi is because of the higher education, a lot of times they had a lot of backlash that they were trying to give back to the regime or whatever, and many times they sent the Republican guards out there to squash, not would be rebellions, but just squash the intellect and be like, we don't care how smart you think you are, you're going to live by our rules. And they established a lot of the Ba'ath Party individuals were established into that area. That's the mindset was really, really easy for the, pre-ISIS, what it was,
Al-Qaeda.
Al-Qaeda, yeah, for Al-Qaeda to manipulate because they had been, brutalized for so long and beat into that. Of course, we were right there by the Syrian desert too, and so a lot of men, weapons, equipment would come out of the desert into Ramadi, and then from Ramadi to Fallujah into the network of all of Iraq too. So there was a lot of stuff moving in and around that area.
And you guys may help me differentiate this, but what is the difference between Al-Qaeda and ISIS and whatever?
It's the difference between the Army and the Marine Corps. It's just two different factions that have the same goal in mind.
Different leadership.
That is the easiest way to explain it. It's just two different factions that believe the same thing with two different directions to come from.
Okay. So they believe in the same thing. They just have different philosophies on how to get there, typically.
Yeah, they just got different leadership, different ways to funnel money. Yeah.
They just areas. like their flag better than that flag.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to oversimplify it, yes.
Yeah, I got you. All right. I'll probably have more questions, and I want you guys to, during your time in service, where applicable, fill in. But, we want to talk kind of to educate our listeners that are wanting to get into or are into the long range shooting, precision long range. Let's talk kind of the basics of beyond the basics, I guess. How do you get to that next level? What's involved? And let's talk kit, gear, equipment, ballistics with Brad.
Yeah. So, and I'm probably going to be on I'll start off from the front end of this because I'm not into the ELR stuff like these guys are. All of my shooting's 1,500 yards and in, with, big 30 cals or smaller. And then these guys they're pushing it way, way past the limits of what I normally do. But especially for anybody that's either wanting to get into it or just getting into it, is number one is don't overcomplicate it for yourself. There is real science, and then there are real things that don't matter, right? And whether don't get caught up on the buzzwords. Stay out of the over technical books up front. It is absolutely imperative that you know a lot of things, but it is more imperative that you know how to do things rather than know how a lot of that. I'm probably saying that wrong or whatever, but
learn your basic principles first.
Yeah, look, you build your confidence on the way out. One of the things that I try to do is I'm very mechanical in my shooting and in all of my shooting stuff. And if I'm not mechanically correct, it doesn't matter what my equipment capability could be, because I'm not going to use it properly. But
Fundamentals.
yeah,
You
get
got
a
to master
decent gun.
fundamentals.
Yeah, start off, get a decent rifle. And look, Savage makes some really, really good rifles that shoot good, and they're economically. If you want to try to get into it, but you don't know, how deep you're going to get into, you can buy and sell a Savage rifle for close to the same price. So, if you decide to get out of it, you're going to lose a couple $100, but you're not going to, you're not going to buy a 10, 12, $14,000 rifle and sell it for $4,000. So, and because the used market on high end precision rifles is not great. Um, so,
Even if you
you're
put that kind of money into it, you're not going to get it back out.
typically
No.
speaking, no, you're buying the components back out of it. You're buying it as a built rifle, and if you're selling it for the components that were just built out of. So, and even high end optics, you're going to spend retail price 35 to $4,200 on a really, really nice high end optic, whether it be a a Collis or a high end Leopold or a high end Night Force or whatever, any one of them. You pick, zero compromise, whatever. And you're going to get half of that when you try to sell it, if you get into it. However, if you get good basic equipment and you can shoot regularly to 1,000 yards, 1,500 yards, and you want to go deeper than that, you already have a really good base of knowledge on your equipment, on what you have, on what everybody else is using, and what because then you've been around enough people to see what works, as opposed to, hey, this guy says this thing is the best thing since sliced bread, and you spend, you spend $3,000 just on an action to find out that, yeah, that's a really good bench rest action, but it really doesn't help you, when you're trying to run a specific discipline outside of bench rest shooting. It's just way more than you need, or it's built for a specific purpose. So I would say get really good basic stuff. And then build up from there. And the more you shoot, the further you shoot, then you can start building in, to what you want it to be, or what
Yep.
your goals are going to end up being. I would
Well,
also say
I was going
technology
to
is
say the
amazing.
long range shooting that you do, typically you're doing more kind of like on the move type.
Very practical. Yeah. So most of what I do is a very, very practical. It could be, translated into any hunting scenario or any military type shooting or whatever. That's most of what Melissa and I do. That's pretty much all Melissa and I do is we keep it, 12, 1,500 yards and in, it's really 900 and in, but it's multiple position, multiple target, and it's all timed. And so, it's just, like I said, it's just a very practical way of doing it. But
So talk about the equipment that for the type of shooting that you do, for that type shooting, your setup. What
so
what
you
guys,
can, so if you've got a decent rifle scope and factory ammunition, all right. So I mean, I'm an ambassador for Federal Ammo, and you know, I'd be hard pressed to load my own ammo a lot anymore. I mean, you can get some really, really good factory loaded ammunition. That's not to say that hand loaded ammo is better, because you can tailor it to your rifle and be more consistent. 100%. But if you don't have the time to do it, there's not a lot of money difference in it anymore if you search the internet and get good prices. So, but if you've got you've got a rifle scope and good ammunition, you've got a couple of the front bags or the rear bag or the bipod, whatever you're gonna, how depends on how you're gonna shoot, but you get a couple of good range bags to use accessory wise. Then I would tell you to you don't have to get into the electronics, but it's the fastest way to get good up front. And whether it be a Kestrel or some other ballistic solver, I mean, you can get them on your phone now for basic shooting, but you can get into it without spending tens upon tens of thousands of dollars. I mean, you can,
Yep.
you get a guy that can get into it for, you get a dude that goes all in with $3,000 with okay basic equipment, and they spend their time on the range learning what their equipment can't do, not what it can do, but like figure out what it can't do,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be a really dangerous dude when he gets good equipment that can maximize his potential.
Yeah. What kind of calculator are you using?
A Kestrel. I use a Kestrel 4500 or 57. I'm sorry, it's a 5700. It's the 4500 was what I used in the military. We got the 5700 now. So, but the Elite Ballistics is the model I have now. But you don't even have to go that deep when you start off. So I think that model's somewhere around 750 to 800 bucks. You can do the Sportsman starting off. You can do the Sportsman for around, I think they're $400, something like that. And again, you can buy it for 400 bucks and sell it for 300 bucks if it just absolutely don't work out for you, because there's a good market in that. But if you buy an $800 Kestrel, you're still selling it for 350 or 400 bucks. So on the used market. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to learn how to shoot long range. You need to spend a lot of time learning how to shoot long range.
Are you running a semi or a bolt?
Bolt gun.
Yeah. Well, on that note about not spending a lot of money, but before you start spending money on all this gear and stuff, and you're first starting out, take a course from somebody that knows how to teach you how to do the principles right, and then you got to put the time in through repetition and perfect practice, and that's how you get good at shooting. But if you don't know the principles or how to execute them each time, then you're going to build up bad habits, and it takes a long time to get rid of those bad habits.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I think that's probably the very first step.
Yeah, it's like you don't go buy an airplane and not take flying lessons.
Sure. Well, and the biggest thing of that, you can find a guy that you can call. There's plenty of dudes,
there's tons everywhere.
Yeah, you'll be Charlie. Number one, make sure do your research on who you're going to train with. I mean, because there's a bunch of people out there, and there's some guys that really don't need to be doing it. But there's some really good folks out there. Number one, and if you call a guy up and talk to him on the phone, and you tell them what you want to do, it's like, hey man, look, I really want to learn how to do this. I'm just not sure I want to dive into it. Can we do it? Can I rent a gun from you? Can I buy ammunition from you? Can I do that? Can I use your things to go through the class? Most everybody,
somebody who does it. I'm sure a lot of friends would borrow.
Yeah. So borrow stuff or rent stuff from the instructor or whatever. And then learn, because whatever knowledge you're taught, doesn't matter what platform you're on. It doesn't matter if you're shooting, a Savage or a GA precision rifle. I mean, on two different spectrums or whatever, or any of the custom gun builders. It doesn't matter, what you're using during the class. Is if you build the right mechanics and fundamentals, then you're going to be able to translate those to anything else, whether it be even a gas gun. You'll be able to pick it up and still use those principles to be successful.
And that being said, Charlie does offer courses, and he does travel.
Yep.
So you get
I teach all over the U.S. I'm based out of Texas, but I'll go anywhere.
So on the
we are working on getting Charlie to Tennessee, so stay tuned, leadheads.
We need to do a Tennessee course.
Yeah, definitely.
I miss Tennessee.
We got a range now for you. That's been our obstacle, is finding that range, but we have a range now.
Nice.
And we're gonna set something up with Charlie coming up soon. But go ahead, Brent.
Yeah, so I do the full gambit. I mean, I've got some guns scoped out, ready to go for under $1,000 that you can shoot a mile with. Everything you need, and you can just use an app on your phone for $9 for your data, and we've gotten out to 2 miles with that.
What's the app?
Shooter.
It's just called Shooter.
Yeah.
Shooter.
Well, they got a Shooter Pro too. There's 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's the one we use. We've taken it out past 6,000 for $9.95. It is extremely accurate, and I do all kinds of rifles. I do, but I have as much fun just squaring and truing a factory gun and getting guys out to 1,000. Simple. You do not have to spend the money.
Those Ruger Americans are cheap, and they shoot pretty damn good.
No, I do a lot of Ruger Americans.
Ruger American, it's probably one of the best shooting, inexpensive rifles on the market right now that I've seen.
Yep, no doubt.
They shoot really, really well.
All I do is restock them. But just get a Boyd stock, $240, and I guarantee you we can get you to a mile with almost any caliber.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was the gun? What was the gun you said?
I did it on a
Ruger American.
Yeah, Ruger American.
It comes in all different calibers too.
Yeah.
We'll pull that up.
It's hand loading, but
I think they're like $500 or $600.
Yeah. So they're all about that now. They were like $300 when I was doing it.
Yeah, they used to be really cheap.
Yeah, $300 and 1,000 yards.
I mean, everything used to be cheap.
The Savages shoot.
Yeah, there ain't nothing cheap
Screw them
anymore.
up, screw them up, do the triggers, just do a little bit of work to them. That's what I've been doing my whole life. I mean, when I was 20, I shot a hog in South Texas at 1.6 miles, and I never looked back. I mean, that's what I've been doing. I turned 69 a few days ago, so it's been a long time.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. On the 3rd.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Brad.
Yeah. And so, like when Charlie and I met, he said, I want to shoot 3 miles. Like, shit. Okay, we got to do something here. I was getting 4,100, but I needed a new bullet. So that's what I did. But I do that to full extremes. But the whole thing is the long range. All you're doing is re-zeroing at a different range with different data. So the fundamentals are it. You're just re-zeroing. That's all I do. I shoot 2 rounds, adjust, and hit.
I was trying to find a price on these things. I don't put there's the prices.
They're around 5 or 6, I think.
Here's 800 on these.
Look at
900.
Buds.
Damn, they went way up.
Well, this is on their website. Yeah.
They got popular.
Look at,
I was about to say, I was at a gun store the other day. They were like 600, 550.
yeah, look at
Right.
Buds.
Well, you're always going to find a better price in a gun store. They're going to
Right.
the website will tell you MSRP, and you can always get them for a better price.
Yeah.
That's true.
Give you kind of a guide to go by, but yeah, and then if you could find a used one, do you guys recommend getting a used?
Yes,
Yeah,
Yep.
just make sure the barrel's not shot out.
that's pretty hard to do unless you just don't clean them. But
Yeah.
most gunsmiths have a bore scope. Just
Yep.
check it.
Oh, but you as an individual stay away from a bore scope. But one of the worst things you can do as a new long range shooter is buy a bore scope.
Yeah. Well, what
I mean, it is the worst thing.
what I tell my guys, do you go to the gynecologist with your wife?
Right. So one of the as a barrel barrel manufacturers honestly have to have stock in the bore scope industry because I mean, all these dudes are buying bore scopes, and then the first thing they do is look down a barrel like, oh my God, this thing's horrible.
Yeah,
Have you shot it? No,
I just
but it's
tell-
terrible. But have you
tell 'em,
shot
look,
it?
use it for
Yeah.
looking for copper, and that's it. Just see if there's still copper, and then put it away.
Or checking your chamber. Check your chamber for erosion.
Right. Right.
Well, the throat. But yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't have to. But if you do, it does make it a little bit easier for the extreme long. And everything we're doing, there's no bench guns. These are all sniper rifles or hunting rifles.
So do you have a website, Brad?
I do because some of the shops I dealt with, I had to have one. I didn't. This almost intelligent stuff happened. So I've been putting in www.donotwantone.com, and it finally goes, hey, that's not real. It's like, okay, shit, I'll buy it. That's my website, donotwantone.com.
Concealed carry has just spread like crazy. Sales of handguns to women, they are probably the largest growing sector of individuals to purchase firearms.
At Mission First Tactical, we're going to develop everyday carry products that allow people to comfortably, safely, discreetly carry their firearms to be responsible for their own safety. There's a vastly underserved market that's been growing, and that involves females. As you know, body shapes are different. Recently, we've developed the most comfortable, one of the safest belly bands on the market. A female body shape should not have to conform to product design for a male body shape.
Mission First Tactical is the official tactical accessories provider for the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade. Use the code LEADHEAD for an exclusive 20% discount on all orders.
Right there. Is this it?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Performance.
Wantone.com. These performance guns. And they can get in touch with you to order a gun here?
Yep. And there's a lot of pictures there. A lot.
You do have a lot of pictures here.
Yeah, just hit more.
Where's the ones that are available now, or everything you do custom?
Oh, just call me. Yeah, I don't have it set up to buy off of because there's too many variables.
Yeah,
Too many
yeah,
variables.
yeah. If you want to do it real cheap to learn your basic principles and stuff, get you a 22 that shoots decent, and you'll save a bunch of money on ammo and the gun, and you'll learn all your principles, and it helps a lot with call and win too.
If you can shoot 400 yards with a 22, you're ready to go for real long range stuff.
Yes.
Yep.
With the Tejas 22.
That's different. That's center fire.
That's a 30-06 with 22 lead in it.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, we're 2 miles with it. I think we can get further than 2 miles.
I bet it will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually shot that 2 miles.
Yep.
When we were out there, so
yeah,
it's
a
legit.
bad mother.
Yeah,
it is. So, so training, basic equipment, but we're talking about moving up to the next step. So that's kind of the basic stuff. I mean, you definitely need to get the training, go to a specialist like Charlie, and take their 2-day, 3-day course, whatever they've got. I know Paul Markle was Student of the Gun. A lot of our listeners listen to Paul Markle. They offer,
there's so many good guys out there teaching now. It's crazy.
Yeah, and then the guys at Warhorse Ballistic that I've had on before, those guys are offering courses like that now too. So it's all over. But I mean, if you want a good one, go back to our previous episode on how to determine whether or not you're getting good training or garbage. And that goes into doing your research, talking to people, asking people. So we can help you here at Talking Lead. If you're interested, just get in touch with me. I can put you in touch with Charlie and all these other quality trainers. Jim, now you're not doing any instructing, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Where are you out of, James?
Georgia. I'm just outside of Columbus, Georgia, on the east side of Fort Benning.
Oh, I grew up in Macon.
Yeah.
That's
right. Yeah, I heard you say that earlier. Yeah, we're Shadow 6 Consulting. So
nice.
the website's down. We were getting ready to do some e-commerce stuff or whatever. So we pulled the site down, but you can get them at James at shadow6.net or through you guys or whatever.
Yeah.
So
email me. And I wasn't sure if you were doing the training or not because you're doing so much competition stuff. So
so I'm going. Actually, a really good friend of mine, Terry Cross, is kind of like the OG gangster dude or whatever, for real, long range shooting, match shooting, whatever. Awesome, amazing guy. But he and I are actually going to Alaska in 2 weeks, doing a course up in Alaska. So
nice.
But yeah, really looking forward to that.
Yeah, so I mean, we've got 3 world record holders here on the show. So I mean, we have no shortage of experts that we
surely one of us can make you hit a target.
Can you imagine if the 3 of you teamed up and did a course?
We need to.
Yeah, might as well.
That would be cool.
How cool? Maybe, Jim, would you be interested in that?
Sure.
If I was to set something up here in Tennessee.
Yeah, we can do that.
And then we could do a lot more people. I usually only do up to 10 by myself. Sure. If I have a bigger class, I'll bring in a couple other guys to help. Yeah. Then we could do like probably 20 dudes or something.
I think it'd be cool to get the 2 of you, the Army, the Navy.
Definitely.
And then bring Brad in. That would be bring Brad's guns in. Holy shit.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah, and it's okay, Charlie. If you get into trouble, I was a ranger. I can come save you, like we all.
hey, that's what you're there for.
Rangers.
I'll just stay in the back and shoot through.
Right. So most of what I do now is more private stuff. Either small group, of friends or guys or whatever get together or want me to come place or individual, whether it be my place or theirs or whatever. That's most of what I do now. I really haven't done a open enrollment course in many years at this point, but I really, really, really enjoy the one-on-one or the 3 or 4 guys, 3 or 4 friends want to get together and have a shooting weekend or learn how to do something together, or if a guy's training. The biggest thing I've done a lot of is, guy puts in for a tag and it's a once in a lifetime tag, or it's it's a hunt that they know that they may not ever get to do again, and they want to perfect their craft before they go. That's really a lot of what I've been doing a lot of, more so in the last couple of years.
Yeah, that once in a lifetime hunt kind of
Sure.
thing. They want to make it count.
How long is your range, Lefty?
So they're working on getting up to, I think, 2,000.
Awesome.
They haven't quite got the 2,000 yet, but we can go all day long 900 as it is right now. But I'm sure if we put this together, we could definitely make accommodations for longer. So
I'm sure we can find a spot.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, this place that I'm talking about definitely has the capability of doing that. We just got to make sure we get all our I's and T's crossed. But yeah, if listeners, if you're interested in attending a course like that, I want to know the interest before I, waste these guys' time. So email me, talkingled@gmail.com, and if that's a course that you would be interested in, let me know, and we'll set that up. But individually, if you guys want to come up and set up courses too, I think we definitely could, with all the people that we know here, can set that up without a problem.
Yeah, right on.
Cool.
Well, I was going to hit you up anyway sometime this fall. We need to do another shot. It's been too long, and we got a few new rounds.
So let's talk about that, because, like I said, that's out of my wheelhouse. I've really, I've shot, I've shot distance before. I shot, we shot people at a mile, and then we've shot, targets way further than that. But what are the? Some of these guys are getting into like weather station stuff, and there's incredible stuff that goes into shooting. And once you really go over 2,000 yards, that's kind of the 1,800 to 2,000 yards seems to be like a barrier. Just like, so you guys talk about that for a second, because I'm interested in hearing about that.
Yeah, let's hear the preparations that go into that.
I think they're out. The last shot was almost 8,000 yards, wasn't it?
No, 7.
7. Okay. Yeah, we got to do 8 to beat it.
We did that though.
At that point, are you really relying on luck, or is that something that you're?
There's always a little luck.
Yeah.
Well, there's always luck. That's right.
Yeah, but if you're repeating it, there you go.
You definitely ain't gonna shoot somebody in the head in a hostage situation that far away, but
no.
Yeah. So what's your? I can imagine if you go past 3,000 yards per se, I can imagine you're shooting. What's the average target? 4x4, 6x6.
We usually do a minute of angle.
Yeah, 1 minute of angle. So 40
1
inches.
minute of angle target.
Yeah, 40 inches.
So according to AI, the longest confirmed rifle shot in history is 4.4 miles, 7,744 yards. September 13th, 2022.
Was that where was that? Wyoming?
Wyoming is what it's saying.
There's some guy.
I think the place to do it because the atmosphere there.
Oh yeah, you got the thinner air.
Yeah, it was a 416 Barrett cartridge.
We have that Tejas, so there you go.
Yeah.
24-second from shot to flight time. Yeah, 24 seconds.
So at this point, I'll allow the conversation to talk about Coriolis. But if it's anything less than about 1,500 yards, you need to be punched in the mouth if you're talking about Coriolis. Right?
Exactly. I would say if it ain't 3,000 or more.
Right.
Well, with these shots too, you also got to take into consideration atmosphere.
Oh yeah, atmosphere is probably more important than Coriolis.
Oh, always. Yeah.
Well,
into a whole nother atmosphere.
Charlie, when we first went down to Texas, that's when we found out about atmosphere, because we were shooting into the Brazos River, and you kept raising the gun. It didn't matter because those swells were just swatting the bullet down.
Yep. Well, and we couldn't see the impacts because it was all trees and grass. It was woods.
Yeah. Yeah. You get out of the surface wind, you get into the like true clear, pure air, pure wind that you. So
yeah, you get up around 2,000 feet, you get some crazy crosswinds and tailwinds and headwinds. You get all kind of shit up there.
Sure.
Yeah, but you can repeat it as long as they stay a few minutes. You can repeat it.
Yeah, as long as you get the shot off.
Altitude, everything comes into play. So talk about how you guys prepare for let's just talk about how you prepared for the one that you made, the 5025.
Well, we just figured out the dope, went up there and pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
It's not that
Okay,
easy.
so,
Well,
so let me
well,
ask this.
Well,
I mean,
finding a good place to do it was tough.
No, we had
Yeah,
all
I found that
I had
place
to
up
get
there.
all the ammo. The ammo has to be perfect. Every
Yeah.
round has to be exactly the same.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Talk about that. Talk about the preparation for ammo, Brad. What did you do specifically for this shot? How did you prepare for this?
Yeah, the ammo, every piece of brass, I'll check for weight, then I'll check for volume. And then even after it's loaded, I'll check again and then sort those out. They have to be identical. And then as you're shooting, you do have to have a chronograph on that gun. It's like racing. Once it starts heating up, you got to change your times. And every time if it picks up 25 feet or 50 feet, it's going to be lower at the next shot. And you need to know that. So you have your next round ready. So you're second guessing that. So if you can keep it cool, that'll help. But it's hard to do. But you have to know the speed every shot. You have to. But those bullets are critical.
Talk
Yes,
about
sir.
how you did those. Talk about the round, the Tejas round specifically, which is a modified Chi-Tac.
That one is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we fired
Without
from.
giving away your secrets. I mean,
No, it's no secret. I mean, it's a 50-degree shoulder, straighter case, but the bullets I designed. Because when I met Charlie, the bullets I were using, they would fall out of the sky at 4,100. They were done. They were just done. So I had to play with designing the bullet. It took quite a while. But what
are
I
you using? Are you machining like copper beryllium for that? What
just
substance?
360, just 360 brass.
360. Okay.
Yeah, and once I got the dimensions on it, then I just went over to a screw machine and had them popped out.
Right.
Hey, Brad, have you tried any of those new Teflon projectiles yet?
No, I haven't played with the Teflons.
I guess a lot of guys are experimenting with some Teflon stuff that's supposed to get you greater distance and
I
keep
mean,
your
is that,
muzzle.
Just a
Muzzle.
coating.
yeah, but is that,
I think
mean,
they're cutting them out of pure Teflon.
Molly didn't make it that many years.
Not gonna weigh enough, buddy.
No,
But a coating. I played with a bunch of coatings.
yeah, this is like a solid. I don't know if it's Teflon, but it's some new material they're using.
Yeah, there's some out there.
It looks like Teflon to me, but
I know the Molly got real big. I mean, 10,
Yeah,
12 years ago or
a lot of
whatever. But
Molly.
that turned out to be snake oil too. I think.
No, it
Yeah.
worked. It worked. I did a 17. I shot 180 rounds at 4,400 feet per second without cleaning.
yeah.
That's working when that happens.
Fair
Without
enough.
bullets up. So it was a real deal. Now I did clean the carbon out every 50 rounds, but that was all. That was it. So it did work. But what happened was.
So what was the
people
trade-off?
Huh? Do what?
what
Were
was
they coming apart or anything?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I
No.
mean, so what was the trade-off in going to the Molly?
Well, the Molly, what happened was people wouldn't clean their guns. And so the Molly would trap the water and it would corrode the barrels. It would trap it between the Molly and the barrel. If you just cleaned it, it never was a problem, but it was too much maintenance and people did not forget it. But it worked. But what we use now, Marcus's Modern Spartan Oils, it's the best by far. And it's the easiest to do, and it keeps the barrels smooth. And it basically has a nanoparticle in the throat, which helps a ton.
What is that called?
Spartan lube, modern Spartan.
Modern.
Marty
Spartan.
knows.
Yeah,
I know, but I think you guys should try Seal 1.
Seal 1 does work just as good,
Yeah.
I think.
No, it does.
Yeah.
I just
It's the
nothing
same
else,
concept.
just the accuracy oil. I don't care what anything else you use, but the
Sure.
accuracy oil does make the difference on the throat.
Yeah, I think you'll find that the Seal 1 can do
It does.
The Seal 1 does the same stuff, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a great product.
As long as you clean them and treat them, do it.
I like their engine oil additive. I still use their engine oil additive.
Yeah.
Great
Oh, yeah.
stuff for the engine.
They do,
Yeah.
just as long as you do something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really about the ammunition and the repeatability of that. And then having everything square. That gun's got to be square. Every surface has to be square. So
and your principles got to be dialed in too, because as you know, the further you get out, your mistakes get multiplied by 100-fold.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, just a 32nd of an inch at the muzzle adds up very, 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 very fast.
Yep.
Yeah, you might hit my awning.
Right.
I've got a picture.
That happens.
I'm trying to pull up here.
So are you guys?
You got the video?
You guys are using Charlie Terex for your scopes also.
Yeah, that's work good.
And so, is this for this? Just say you're going to shoot this 8,000-yard shot. Is this a line of sight target that you're doing, or are you setting up an aiming point and then?
Yes. No. It's line of sight.
It's line of sight with those Charlie Terex. That's what they do.
If you 4,000 is no problem. 4,500 is pushing it. You get past 4,500, you're going to need a Charlie unit and a Delta unit.
And then and don't put a 10 above it.
Yeah, don't do that. Put the screws.
It's a pretty good angle.
Yeah, put the screws in the Charlie unit so it doesn't break the Delta unit.
Right.
Y'all remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
The lawnmower?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That was badass.
So I'm scrolling through some pictures here. I'm trying to find that one.
Where we hit the awning, where I hit the awning.
Yeah. There's your buddy.
Mm-hmm.
R.I.P. There's no telling where. There's a through the spotting scope, the target. I think that was that the 2 mile target?
Yeah, I think that was 2 miles.
Yeah, down in the flat.
Yeah, because that other one was way further out.
Yeah, it was right before the salt flat.
You need one of those, Jim. You need one of those mowers.
Dude, those Spartan mowers are badass. I had one.
Yeah.
And there's the rifle. This was the first shoot that we did in Utah.
That was my tripod weather station.
Yeah, that place where we did that shoot, you can get out probably 8,000 yards out there too. That spot.
Easy.
Yeah, you can get out to 8,000 there.
Yeah, wasn't that right next to an Air Force base?
Yeah. That's Dugway Proving Grounds.
No. Well, yeah, where we were. Yeah.
Yep.
There's the size of the target.
That one's 60 inches for 6,000.
Yeah. And you see the hits on that. Was that the 2 mile target?
That's 2 miles.
That's the 2 mile, yeah.
Yeah, that was the 2 mile target. And we had an even bigger one for the 5,000. There it is.
That's 6.
That's 60 inches. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big one right there. That's a lot of steel right there. But as I'm going through these slides trying to find that, talk about because you have a special developed barrel, rifle, everything that you did for this shot.
Yes.
So talk about that.
Oh, look, I'm 65 pounds lighter than that now.
Look at you.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got I've been using Patnor barrels forever. They've been doing them exactly the way I want, the twist I want, the finish I want inside. I do a 5-groove barrel to distort the bullet evenly. Not a big deal. I don't think it makes a difference, but in my mind it does. So I distort the bullet evenly. Yeah.
What kind of material are you using for the barrel?
It's a 416 stainless.
Okay. And the length, give me details here.
It's a 30-inch tube is all we needed. There again, we're doing sniper rifles, stuff guys would actually use. We're not doing 40-inch barrels. We're not doing 40-pound guns. These are usable guns.
There's where the marking gets.
The triggers, I like to use the Huber 2-stage, keep them under a pound.
What a good dude, too. John Huber is a great guy.
He is a good dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been lightening his triggers for quite a while until he finally caught up with me.
Yep. Yeah, John's a great guy.
I'm actually bringing John out here. I'm buying his operation and bringing him out here into the We're going to be doing everything in-house, from barrels, everything in-house. Even reamers. I mean, we're going to build everything. Yeah, that was an awning that got shot.
Yeah, I've got a picture of the bullet hole. I just got to find it.
I know Charlie didn't sign it.
Oh, you?
I think I did.
throw it away?
No, he didn't.
I didn't sign it.
No. But yeah, there's the angle we were shooting at. I've got it up here on the wall. We're shooting at. Oh, what were we?
Yeah, look how far the scope's angled down.
Yeah, is that
Yeah. That's an Ivy base. That is an Ivy base, 0 to 200 MOA
okay?
in the base itself. So with that, we can get out past 42 to 44. So you do need that. And then when you step out, that's when you need the Charlie unit. The Charlie unit, though, is going to fuzz out because it's looking through the barrel. So you need the Delta to get you off to the side. That's the difference between the 4,000, 5, and 6.
Now you're talking about these attachments that are in front of this scope that
Yes.
my cameraman's not doing a good job right now getting. But
Right. It's essentially a periscope, right?
Yeah,
So
that's all it is a periscope.
Your regular optic looks into it, and it's a prismatic that gives you an extra. Was it 100 minutes angle?
400.
No, the new one
400
does it.
minutes.
The new one does 1,000.
Well, the new ones with markings have 800, but yeah, 1,000.
Yeah,
We
the new one
needed,
does the.
5,000, we needed 429. 6,500 was 718. So
these are the tools you're talking about here. Talk about
Yeah.
one of these.
the Charlie unit,
Charlie Tarrant.
that does the adjusting. The Delta, the next one, moves it over so you're not looking through the barrel, so you have a crystal clear sight. It doesn't do anything but move it over 2 inches. That's it.
Yeah, 5,000. Even with that Charlie Tarrant, I was still aiming at the muzzle brake. I was catching the muzzle brake in the center, almost.
It doesn't give you extra elevation because the scope can only go so far, and then this kind of boosts the.
Yeah, so the Charlie unit gives you that elevation.
Yeah, you usually do your course elevation with the Charlie, and then you do your fine tune with the scope
And the base.
and the base.
Was it the first shoot or the second shoot where that we shattered one of those? You shattered the lens on one of those.
That was the second one. The glue came undone.
Well, no, it's because we didn't have bolts in the Charlie unit, and it was bouncing off and hitting it. It was bouncing in between the scope and the Delta, and it knocked the mirror loose. Otherwise, we would have had it.
All right, so this is funny right here. This trigger. Talk about the trigger.
That one's a Jewel 6-ounce trigger. No movement on the gun. I mean, just none.
Watch me shoot this. This is the first time me shooting this. I'm trying your 5,000 yard shot here. I was like, if he can't do it, I can do it.
It's easy.
Yeah, watch this. It's like, oh, I wasn't ready.
Good. That's better. That is better.
I didn't have pressure up against it though, so it probably limp wristed the shot. You know.
Well, Brad shoots like some people shoot like that.
Yeah, the gun will do it.
Free recoil it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my first shot, my first attempt. I think it's probably my only. I think after that I just got up and let the professional take over.
You're scared of what that scope is going to do to you next time.
Oh, we've had some scope eyes on that gun.
Have you?
Yeah.
Got a little ring around the eye.
So that's a 420 grain bullet. We're running at 3360, and I'm punching that up now. So we'll see where we end up.
This is the 22 Tejas right here.
No, that's a Renner Stark.
That's a Renner Stark, though.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the 22.
That's a 338 Lapua.
He's shooting it at the 2 mile target though.
At Jeremiah, yeah, he is, and we hit.
Oh yeah, consistently hitting with that thing.
Yeah.
Those Renner Starks are good guns.
Charlie, I have the first one done now in a 338 Lapua Tejas. I've got the first hybrid. I made the little adapters.
Oh, sweet.
So now we can do all kinds of barrels for the Ritters.
Let's go. I need a new bolt face for my 338. The other one broke.
It broke.
Yeah, the bolt face. You know how you swap it out when you switch from 300 to 338?
Yeah.
Yeah, the bolt face broke, chipped off.
Oh, send it to me.
Yep, I will. We'll do.
I think this is the tent was the second shot, was it? Second tent, or was it the first one where you shot the tent?
Oh, we had them on both, but
You can
Yeah.
tell it was up high.
yeah, like 28 degrees. But we're also shooting down, so
I
Yeah.
got a great Polaroid of it, but I can't find it right now. But so trying to get that off. I'll find it in a minute. I'll pull it up. So we talked about the rifle, talked about the ballistics, for the extreme long range that you guys are doing, and the world record shot is nearly 8,000 yards, 4.4 miles. What's the next shot for you, Charlie?
I'm thinking we should go for 8,000.
You don't want to shatter it and go for like 8,500 or
But what are they at now? 70.
70, almost 7,500, 4.4 miles.
Yeah,
Oh,
we can start at 85.
We were doing a 5-mile shot last time.
Well, the bullets were going far enough on that. The Charlie broke.
Yeah, and we were just trying to wish it in.
Yeah, we were hitting behind it there. A couple shots went behind it.
Yeah, it flew.
500 yards pass. That's just going to get into the next level of like they're shooting 80-pound guns.
Yeah.
So that one's going to have to be based on a 50 action. So it's going to be a 36 to 40-pound gun.
Oh, you should do a 416, Tejas.
Already have it.
Oh, you did? That's a good round.
Brad's like, I got that.
Yep.
I got that.
That'll give us about a 20% advantage right there, 30.
Yeah, that'll definitely reach out there, I think.
And what I'm doing is scaling up my bullet into the 416.
Yeah.
So I don't have to redesign, just scale it up.
Yep.
It's already flies.
And Jim, in your opinion, and Charlie too, and Brad, we were looking at non-extreme long range because you got all that extra equipment that you're going to need for your optic.
All right.
What's a good, for a lot of our shooters are, like you said, the 900. They don't go much over 1,000 yards. What's a good, solid optic that our guys can go out and, depending on budget. I mean,
Arkin.
It's called Arkin.
Yeah, Arkin makes a good one.
I can't beat them.
The Vortex PST, the 6 to 20, I think it's like $600. You can get on. Look, you can get on. Some of the forums or whatever, and find the old Bushnell, the XRSs or the DMRs or whatever. Those are some really good optics too. There's nothing wrong with, especially used optics. Typically speaking, most of your used optics are still going to be good. Somebody's either upgraded or not interested anymore, and they're selling optics.
They all have warranties, so get it and just send it in.
Yeah, if something's wrong with it, yeah, exactly. You can just send it in.
Don't even just send it in. Say, hey, check it out for me.
Yep.
Some of them, not all of them.
Most all of them.
Your better quality, well-known companies, yes.
Sure.
So tell me about Arkin. I'm not familiar with Arkin here.
Look at who did it.
Well, well, my first experience with Arkin wasn't that great. I had like a 8-man class, and probably like 6 of them had those Arkins, and like 3 of them failed. They wouldn't hold their vertical. But that was when they first came out.
Yeah, right now they're pretty phenomenal, Charlie. For the money, the repeatability is pretty amazing. But
all those lower end scopes are built in the same warehouse in Japan.
They are.
With the same people, same warehouse. So you can go to.
It's a coating that makes the difference, and the turrets.
Yeah, they're using Japanese glass in these Arkins. It's Chinese tubes. Almost everybody's using a Chinese tube.
Yep.
And they're keeping the money down. I mean, for the budget.
Who's got the best glass as far as the actual glass that goes in? Is it Japan or?
I'd say, but I don't know. Germany has pretty good.
Austrian glass still hands down is probably the best.
Yeah, Austrian. So you're looking at zero compromise.
Night Force uses it too, doesn't it?
No,
Nah, they're Japanese.
They're Japanese. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who's
But
using?
I mean, the Japanese, it's hard for the average person, for the normal person ever. When they're looking at glass, it's going to be hard pressed to see, for the average person, to see the difference between Japanese and Austrian glass.
yeah, you're right.
Another big thing on those cheaper scopes is the reticle. The
Yep.
reticles are usually like 3 times wider, so when you get out to 1,000, it covers up the whole 36-inch
Some of
target.
them are on the first focal, but you can get into a really good glass for about $1,200. You can do that.
Like
Yep.
really good.
Going to
Quality. Yep.
the Tika T30X chassis gun, $1,500. I know you could push it to 1.5 miles real easy, so you can get into that. And that one, I don't even have to touch it. Well, the trigger and crown, but I don't have to do much to it.
And what power would you recommend that? Again, for these
20 to 25. We were shooting 25 power and hitting 5,000.
If you're only going to 1,000, you could get away with a 15 power.
Oh, easy.
But if you're going past 1,000,
So, and I think that's a great topic to talk about too, specifically, because there are these companies are making 37 plus 30 plus power optics now or whatever. So when you start seeing,
I have a 52 power.
Yeah. So when you start looking at things at distance, when you magnify those things, it's so you can see better at distance, but you're seeing everything better. So if there's mirage that day, you're seeing more mirage. If there's
you're gonna have to dial your power down with mirage on any.
That's what I'm saying. All we used was 25 power on almost everything out there at 5 and 6.
So in all of our matches across the board for the PRS style shooting, across the board, almost every single shooter stays somewhere between 10 and 15 power.
Yeah.
So you get the best field of view with the correct shooting, and you get you get everything you need to see and nothing you don't.
Correct.
And somebody mentioned Vortex being pretty good. I remember when they were kind of new kids on the block.
Yeah, they used to be the cheap good scope. Now they're as much as Night Force.
They first came out here in Utah. Yeah, I was selling the heck out of them.
Yeah, so you can going with their older technology, like there's a PST 6 to 28, I think is one of their scopes. So they got a PST 2 that's a little more expensive. It's in the $1,200-$1,500 range, but you can do like the regular PST and the older version. This is like the 6 to 24 or something like that.
Yeah,
and it MSRP's at $700 or $600 or $700.
That's a good scope.
So you can put on the open market for $450, $500, and those are really good scopes.
Yeah, they are.
I was looking for. Here's their Gen 2s, 25 by 50, 25 by 50.
Yeah, there's a 4-power or a 6-power version of it or whatever, 6X version. It's the 6 to 28 or the 6 to 24?
36.
Oh, that's the new one, I think.
Yeah, no.
It's a Gen 3. It's a brand new one.
That's their higher end version.
5Gs.
I would hope so.
Yeah, that's their AMG or whatever but yeah, you can find you can find good scopes out there for a good price. The biggest thing you want
have you guys ever used the primary arms optics?
Yes.
Yeah, theirs are decent, but that's what I was doing some testing for those guys.
Yeah,
but that's the same thing. Their reticles were huge. Like really big.
That's a big thing too. Especially when you get into the scopes that have a really big power range setting, it's almost unusable at the low power, and it's too thick at the high power.
Well, that's why
on a first focal plane.
That's why I use second
focal plane scope.
Yeah, if you're shooting extreme long distance, my opinion is the second focal plane is way better.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm a big fan. Look, all of my match scopes are mill based first focal first focal plane stuff or whatever. But I do, especially in law enforcement guys, whatever, they always want what the military guys are having. They want that thing or whatever. I'm like, look, dude, for what you're doing, you need a 3-18 second focal plane
Yep.
with a base reticle. And because you're never going to shoot more than 150, 200 yards tops.
Probably 100.
And you really want to sit on the witness stand and talk about how you knew the difference between the hold offs between 17 and 20 power, or what, talk over the wind hold, or are you going to want to dial this thing on, hold on a guy and pull the trigger? So, anyway, it's just
Well, I mean, that's a good differentiation. Also, is the first focal plane and second focal plane, and when the first focal plane is better than the second.
When it's appropriate.
Under 1,000 yards, up to 1,000.
1,000 or less.
And when you're in practical shooting, So when you need to, the biggest thing is when you're shooting quick and you need to be able to either range a target fast or hold wind and shoot fast, then I can see a second or first focal plane scope for that, because all of your measurements are always the same.
Yes.
You got to do math on the second focal plane. When you change every time you change your power, you got to do the math to figure out the distance between your tick marks.
Because on the second focal plane, your reticle is getting bigger also.
No, it doesn't. It stays the same the whole time. But that's on max power. Say on max power, between each dot is 1 minute of angle.
Right.
If you go to half power, it's going to be 2 minutes of angle per dot or whatever. So you got to do the math depending on what power you're on to figure out the distance your dots are.
First focal plane, the reticle gets bigger. Second focal plane.
Yep. So your distance on your reticle on the first focal plane stays the same no matter what. It's 1 minute of angle for each tick mark. On a second focal plane, if you change the power, you got to figure out the math on how far apart each tick mark is.
I just turned the knob.
Yeah.
He just turned the knob.
Just see that first impact and get your second one off before the conditions change.
Well, and so that's I'm glad you said that. Just turn the knob. So one of the other big conversations you get into is everybody wants to know whether should I shoot mills or minutes. Well, that depends on how you shoot too and what you're planning on shooting. Because if you want, the minute of angle gives you more a smaller reference, right? Than a mill gives you a more coarse reference. But practically speaking, for what we do at under 1,500 yards, it don't freaking matter, because
it's a point of reference.
Just turning to a number. Your data that you're reading off of is, if it says at 500 yards, right? I'm either going to hold 2.5 or I'm going to hold whatever the minute of angle would be, 17 and a half minutes angle. But it's going to tell you to dial that. So I'm either going to turn my scope until it says 2.5, or I'm going to turn it until it says 17 whatever, 17 3/4, whatever. So it really doesn't matter. Just whatever you want to get into.
For what you're doing,
the way
the
way I explain it, I'm like, one's American and one's metric. So if you like adding decimal points, then go with metric or mils. If you like even numbers, then go with minute of angle. It's easier to teach on minute of angle because all the different stuff you're teaching, people trying to do math that aren't very good at it.
Yeah.
The mills kind of mess them up. But yeah, if you got a computer or whatever, it's going to give you the data anyway. So.
This app that you're talking
about. That was
about.
an Army guy, so the smaller numbers mean something to me. So I can shoot to 1,000, remember 7 numbers or less, and that goes a long way.
I assume this app, Brad, will you can put in whether you're first focal plane or second focal plane. And
you won't need it. It'll give you all the dimensions.
That's not well. On some of them, it matters because it shows you where you're holding on your reticle or whatever. Yeah. But unless you're holding on reticle, if you're dialing, it doesn't matter if it's first.
It just gives you the numbers, but it gives you mils, minutes, iffies. It gives you all of it.
Yep.
Yeah, this is pretty complex app right here.
Yeah.
$9.95. Yeah.
That shooter app's a really good app, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it.
And I mean, you can do a little bit of dialing on your gun, and it's absolute. Yep. And it pulls in from the closest weather station. It auto-populates everything for you. There's not a cheaper way to do it.
Yeah, it's a good program. I don't use those very often. When I do, I use that one.
Talk about, we're in the optics, and, a lot of people are, they want to spend a little more money on their optics. Reticles. When they're going to the 1,000 plus, shots, what kind of reticle do you guys recommend, or do you use?
I like the TMR. That's just me. Just a tactical mill, straight up reticle, nice,
A broken-
simple.
Yeah, I like-
broken center dot or a
Yeah.
broken center. Yeah.
Yeah, with some windage tick marks. But
Yes.
yeah. Like those trimmer 3s or whatever, those things are way too busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you got any recoil on your rifle, you're not gonna remember what dot you're holding on. There's so many.
So I'm just
Actually, that the one on Valdata's recon scope, I like that reticle.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good reticle.
Just-
It's not too busy.
There you go. That's good, but you want more on the down.
Yeah.
I want them all the way down.
let's see if I can find one that's got them all the way down.
Yeah, I don't even know why they put so many tick marks above there. For
Do
elevation.
a
Second
skim SKMR4 reticle.
SKMR4.
Reticle, yep.
Okay.
I think it goes to 20. I think it goes to 20 mils.
Is that it?
Yeah, that Valdata Recon, that thing's got a 40 millimeter tube.
Yeah.
So it's got a lot of
that's
play
it.
in it.
Yeah, I've got it.
So is this the one they call the Christmas tree reticle?
Yep.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah,
the
because it
trimmer
looks like
3.
a Christmas tree on the bottom.
That's basically it used to be the Horus, now the new one's the trimmer 3. There's a couple different versions.
Yep.
We just want a straight crosshair with tick marks. We're going all the way down.
Yep.
Like that one? No, it's still
Yeah,
kind
but it needs to go all the way down. If you
Yeah,
scroll to the side, it'll probably show you further down below the 4. There you go. That's it.
there's one right there.
That's the easiest thing to do.
And that's
Knob.
MOA.
And that's for your second shot, but I still just turn the dial on each shot.
Yeah, if you were shooting more than 1,000, you might as well dial your elevation.
Today we're cleaning the SIG P365. You're going to want to follow the SIG guidelines for disassembly and reassembly. You're going to want to take the firearm apart, put it out piece by piece, and then you're going to grab your favorite Seal 1 CLP Plus product. Whether it's paste, liquid, or aerosol, they're all going to do the same thing. Today we're using the paste, and you can see that it comes out and it spreads very easily. Using the nylon brush, you're going to go in and you're going to cover the entire firearm, inside and out. We are safe on all metals, plastics, composites, rubber, wood, leather. So you're going to go piece by piece, putting it on there, wiping it on to clean it. Then you're going to go back and you're going to wipe it off. Remember, Seal 1 is a wipe on, wipe off process. Use Q-tips to get down in the little nooks and crannies that the microfiber cloth does not get to. Wipe it all off, and do not forget to do the magazine. Periodically, you're going to want to take the magazine apart to clean the insides. You're going to reassemble according to the manufacturer's guidelines. Get it together. You're going to perform a function test, make sure it's operating properly, and then you're done. Remember, Seal 1 and done.
Seal 1 is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade. Use the code LEADHEAD for a 25% off discount.
So another key element is, holding zero. So a good mount. You need a really good mount. I would think if you're going to the next level of precision shooting.
That's going to be the Ivy ring if you're going to go past that.
You need a good mount, and then you also
Yeah.
need to check your bolts on everything every time before you shoot. I use blue Loctite on all my bolts.
Perfect.
I've had shit come loose all the time. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, let me ask you this. So bolts or quick detach?
If a good quick detach works good, if you get a good one, the cheap ones don't hold usually. But like the LaRue ones are really good.
Yeah, the Ivy ring is what you're going to need for the long
Obviously.
DLR. But other than that, on most of my long-range hunting guns, I just use a Tally one-piece ring. I'm done.
Yeah.
You can't move. And
My favorite rings are those American Rifle Company with the one bolt and C-clamp kind of.
Yeah.
It just closes with one bolt. Those are my favorite.
So there's the Ivy. And that's for, getting out past that, up to that 4,000 mark.
So it's a one piece,
Yep.
not
Adjustable.
separate rings. So you recommend a one piece versus separate rings?
Well, that's all one piece. Well, no, look up Tally one piece rings. This is more for hunting and long range hunting. Tally one piece. But yeah, Steve Ivey's a great guy. Those rings are phenomenal. But that's to get out to.
Yeah, so those knobs, doesn't that give you another 150 and 50 minute increments?
200.
Yeah, and 50-minute increments.
Yep. No,
Yeah.
5 minute.
Oh, 5 minutes? Oh, no, is that fine?
Yeah, they're 5 minute increments.
Oh, that's good.
I'll go to their website here.
But the Tally has a 20 MOA one piece that I put on all my high end hunting rifles, and you can shoot out to a mile pretty easy.
Yeah, that Valdata one's pretty good too.
Yeah, that works too.
You guys use Warren? You ever used Warren scope mount?
No,
Yeah.
Well, I don't use a split ring. I've had a lot of trouble with that vertical split ring coming loose.
On the Warren?
Yeah.
What about you, Jim? What are you using?
Mostly Seekins.
Yeah.
That's about the only base ring setup I use on most of my rifles. Whatever. I've got a couple other different kind. The Tallies. Tally makes a great product too, but most of what I use is all Seekins precision stuff.
Yeah.
Let me pull it up.
That's where he started with rings.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And those are pretty affordable too, right? The Seekins.
Yeah. They're, for the quality they are, man. Listen, Glenn makes an outstanding product, and and he stands behind every single thing that comes out of his place. If it's not right, he will absolutely make it right. Great guy. It's an amazing company.
Yeah, he's done so well.
Yeah. So they're the technology they have in their machine shop is out of this freaking world. I mean, it's incredible, and you can eat off every inch of his place back there in the machine area.
Yep.
So it's like I say, it's an amazing company.
Very cool. I'm trying to get my screen back here. There we go. So scope the scope mount. Make sure your bolts everywhere are tight. Use
Loctited.
So here, I mean,
Don't use red Loctite.
Don't use red.
Don't use red Loctite.
No,
Right.
no Loctite on the ring caps.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on the
not on
caps.
caps, yeah.
Yeah. Look at it this way: when you're looking at rings and bases or one set piece or whatever else, like think about what you're doing in this. Okay, so if you truly want to be precise and you're really into it, and you've paid X number of $1,000s for a rifle and X number of $1,000s for a scope, do you really want to spend $100 on a set of rings and mounts?
Exactly.
So
Yeah, but
do quality. I mean, they're good rings there are good products for that price.
Yeah,
But
that's what I'm
do
saying.
your
The
research.
gun.
Yeah, and Tally, and like you can get a setup from Seekins for a set of rings and a base if you need the base or whatever, and still be $300 or cheaper or whatever. I mean, you don't have to spend $1,000 on them, but you want to spend enough money to where you're getting a quality product to put those two pieces together.
Yes.
This tally, is that the right tally?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. That's just tally.
you don't-
manufacturing.com.
You don't buy a Ferrari and put Chinese made factory tires on it, right?
Put some Krakow rims on it.
Some crazy. I mean, you're going to spend some money and put some good Z-rated tires on it and make sure that they hold what that car can do.
Yeah.
You want the one piece ring, but yeah, for the hunting stuff, they won't fail. They can't.
Yeah.
That's hunting. It's not tactical.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too. I mean, there's different uses for the long range. You got your like you said, the bench shooters that go out, plink. You got the hunters. You got the tactical LE military guys, and depending on the job, I guess you guys are probably going to recommend different different equipment, different calibers.
Yeah, if you're hunting and you're hiking through mountains and stuff, pounds or ounces, so or ounces or pounds, so you definitely want to go as light as you can.
Yeah. I'm going to go to my notes here, make sure we're covering some myths. Let's go over some myths. I like to bust myths on this show, and Jim brought one up earlier. I can't remember what it was, but you mentioned one myth. But I think we kind of busted the myth that you don't need to go out and spend $10,000 to get a good, solid, long-range system.
No. That's right. Yeah, I mean, all of us here agree that you don't have to spend your life savings to shoot accurately, but you're going to shoot more accurately in the end with your life savings.
Yeah, and we're talking about long-range shooting accurate.
Right.
But I mean, you're still going to spend over $1,000 for a good, decent, basic setup.
Yeah, and you need to spend the majority of your budget should go to your optic rather than your rifle at that point.
It's usually at least the cost of your rifle.
Yep. If not double.
Mm-hmm.
But look at the aftermarket stuff, because people are needing money these days. So go to these blog sites, these chat groups, and see what people have, because you can be surprised, some of the deals. And people like to trade also.
Oh yeah, dude, I love the barter system. I love the barter system.
Yep. Before I moved from Colorado to here, I had traded from dirt to the chimney for an entire house with guns. The whole thing.
There you go.
I traded a rifle for my Harley.
Nice.
Yeah. I traded a couple, 2-3 guns for a really nice boat.
Yeah, so if y'all got some really, really cool shit and you want a rifle,
there you go. There you go. It's all about the trade.
Yep.
And then Charlie had kind of mentioned before, we're talking about the math, these ballistic calculators and whatnot. It's not all about the math. It's again, it goes into your fundamentals, the training, your instincts.
It goes to your fundamentals, and those computers are really cool backup tools or whatever. But the way I compare it, it's like learning how to do land nav with a GPS before you learn how to use a compass. So I teach the basics, because anytime you depend on electronics, I promise you they will fail you.
Yep. Well, Charlie, when we went to Texas, no one even had a chronograph and no known distance. So I spent 3 hours. I still have that piece of paper to get us out to 5,000.
Mm-hmm.
We had nothing.
Exactly. Yeah, see, with a computer would have been helpful in that, just to give you a baseline.
Yeah, I could have slept.
You can't replace shooting yard lines, getting your dope, because those computers are usually pretty accurate, but they're usually not dead on.
Yep.
What about wind's the only factor? I mean, and especially when you're going, we were talking about, with you guys, extreme long range, there are factors that you guys have to play that, your long range hunter's never going to have.
Well, wind's not the only factor, because the wind changes faster than everything else.
Yeah. Well, wind's your most difficult factor, because that's the one you have to learn.
Yeah, and it changes all of them.
The rest of them.
Yep. Yeah. And just because the wind's doing something from where you're shooting from, it could be doing 5 different things before the bullet gets on target.
Yep.
So the most important thing is seeing that first shot and getting the second one off before the conditions change.
But some other things they need to keep in mind is humidity, altitude. What are some other things maybe that?
Altitude's a huge one, because the guys will go through the course and they got their zero down here at 500 feet above sea level. And then they'll go hunting in Colorado. They're like, I was like 4 feet off. I'm like, did you re-zero your gun?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, altitude. So one of the things that's kind of gotten popular in the last several years or whatever is density altitude.
Density altitude. That's a big deal.
And so density altitude essentially is all of the little things in a mathematical equation to give you one number.
Yeah.
So instead of figuring out your barometric pressure, your temperature, your altitude, and your humidity, then your density altitude covers all of those things in one number.
Yeah, it's a nice cheat.
Yep.
What would you guys say is your biggest pet peeve or misconception that you hear from people? Or, like TV and movies that you see there? What's your biggest pet peeve?
It's the oversimplification of it, probably across the board. It's, you know, Marky Mark didn't shoot a soup can at 4,000 yards
They're still
cold.
trying.
I mean,
They're still trying.
yeah.
Or the
Oh,
one with
do
who
that.
who was it that made that that 200-mile-an-hour train shot?
Right.
What was that? Denzel Washington or Jamie Foxx or somebody?
Yeah.
I forget the name of it. But yeah, 200-mile-an-hour train. He made a headshot through the window from like 1,000 yards.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
don't get me
like
wrong.
I like all the
Yeah.
briefcase guns where they take it, it's all apart, they put it all together and make this amazing shot. Like
the Jackal. Have y'all watched that TV series?
Yeah.
Not the series. I watched the movie.
Yeah.
Well, there's a like a new series out. It's on Apple or one of those.
Mm.
I've seen a few. They've told me about where he screws the barrel together, 2-piece barrel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a suitcase that he's got all his parts in.
Yeah. You could probably get away with it at 100 yards.
I hope the rifling lines up.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Jim?
So I mean, it makes us look cool. I mean, it makes us look like we're Superman or whatever, like we're amazing or whatever. But yeah, most of the things, just like any movie, like a hand grenade doesn't blow up, the World Trade Center or whatever. Most of the things you see, if they look a little, even if they're remotely close to being overdone, they're probably overdone tenfold. Guys are making some really incredible shots. The capability is there to do a lot of cool stuff, but it's sensationalized so much, and you're like, and it's just like, oh, you got to talk. I mean, specifically, you got to figure Coriolis for that shot. I'm like, really? Because a quarter-mile-per-hour wind change is bigger than any Coriolis you're ever going to try to figure out for a shot. So unless you've got the wind perfect to a quarter mile an hour or smaller, Coriolis don't freaking matter. So
matter.
Through the window shot.
Spindrift means more than Coriolis does at any distance, 100-fold. So,
are there any other myths or pet peeves that you have? And
one shot through glass.
Shot through glass?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One shot right through glass.
Yeah.
Not without getting your glass doped.
Right.
And it depends on the angle of the glass too.
Angle of the glass, and it depends on the construction of the bullet. I mean, they make bullets that are specifically designed to shoot through barriers like that or whatever, but you better know what you're doing when you use them.
Actually, those frangible rounds do excellent on glass.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to listener questions now. If you guys think of any other myths, we'll do that. So today, for our listener questions, those who participated, we have a SEAL 1 complete gun carry cleaning kit. It's going to have probably the paste. I don't know, they don't have the aerosol in it, maybe. But it'll have the paste, the liquid, the cleaning pads. You'll get a complete kit. We're also going to give away something from Mission First. I don't know whether it's going to be one of their tactical dump trays, might be one of their drinky drinks, which you've been seeing me drink through today, or a holster. It might be one of their cool new Guardian holsters that has the magnetic retention, which I have here. Very cool holster from Mission First. I don't know if you can see the little, so you don't have to worry about all the washers and stuff falling off and replacing and tightening. It's a really cool holster there from Mission First Tactical. And then we're also giving away, and I don't have the pictures at the ready, one of our talking lead kits, patch kits. Let's go to my profile here. I posted it on the grams here. So we've got some new swag. We've got license plates. We got we call them Leadies instead of a Yeti. The talking Leady keeps your drink seconds colder than a Yeti. And then we're going to give away that patch kit, all 3 patches, the new logo, the Leadhead Brigade logo, the AK Corner logo there, to one of you lucky listeners. So let's go to the questions. And there it is right there. And I'll just go from most recent. Somehow. Why aren't my questions coming up? Okay, I'll pull it up on my phone. How about that?
So I got one of the questions, Jacko.
You got one?
300122202. Yeah. So in taking up position and taking into consideration all your insertion, extraction angles, etc., what do you feel is the most challenging aspect of the process? Which that's kind of a I'm not exactly sure exactly what he means in that. What is, as far as an entire operation from planning, infilling, exfilling, all of the stuff. I think all of it matters, because if you mess up any one part of it, the rest of it's kind of toast or whatever. But it's the attention to detail that you spend in each part of that means the biggest part, I think. So just paying attention while you're in the moment of that part, only taking it one step at a time and being successful one step at a time.
Yep. Mission planning and walkthroughs.
Mission planning and walkthroughs, that's you think would be the most critical?
Yeah,
You
most
should never
critical.
do anything real the first time when it matters. You should
You
have
wanna
done it hundreds of times before.
Yeah, you want to have a mock up of whatever target you're hitting, and always practice on walkthroughs. That way, everybody knows exactly what they're doing and when. I mean, granted, everything's not going to go as planned as always. You're going to have to change some stuff up, but definitely have a basic plan.
And I think probably what he's asking is of all that goes into it, which is the most difficult, I guess, to plan for.
So it's I mean, I guess to figure out what all the contingencies are. I mean, you're trying to plan for all the what ifs. That's probably the hardest part, is to think of everything that could go wrong. So
yeah. What's the old saying? You can plan, but until it actually happens,
that's right. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Right?
There you go.
So next, another question from Jay
Nothing
Black.
ever goes as planned.
Right. Jay Black, P2P. I'm all about making a long shot. The challenge success of hitting a target a mile has to be absolutely adrenaline pumping. I wouldn't know. I've only shot out to 500 yards, and that's a short shot for most. Which actually, I think 500 yards is where long range starts. Yeah. So when you have to start paying attention to all of the stuff. So don't short yourself on 500 yards, because if you can't shoot 500 yards, you can't shoot any further past that.
Yeah. If you're not hitting at 5, don't go to 1,000.
That's right. So my question is, at what distance is the impractical to be a lethal shot? I know it depends on the gun, ballistics, windage, parallax, etc. The last thing anybody would want to do is to try to harvest a large animal and not have a kill shot because there is just not enough velocity left on the target impact. Maybe a better question is, what is the most practical gun to harvest large game at, say, 1,000 yards more? And that goes into a very specific thing that I talk about all the time about long range hunting stuff. Is number one is you absolutely don't outshoot yourself on an animal. You can try whatever you want to on paper or steel, but if you're even remotely think that you can't make a shot, then you can't make a shot within 200 yards of that distance to start with anyway. So it's one of my biggest pet peeves. I'm not a big fan of long range hunting. I think ego plays a lot into that, and there are people that are very, very, very capable of shooting long range. And I don't, I'm not going to bad lip anybody that does it, because everybody has their own reasons for the things that they do. But me personally, I have infinite respect for life. And if I am not 100% sure that I'm capable of taking that shot, and then some, then I won't even attempt it. So my longest animal kill is 700 yards, and I was kind of pressured into doing that. And it worked out fine. It was a one-shot kill, and I was, pretty confident in it or whatnot. But I think, the allure of shooting animals, I was at a major long-range shooting facility, doing training one time, and the guys up there telling me about how awesome their shooting abilities are. and he shot this deer at 1,000 yards. Well, I can't remember what it was. And his son wanted to beat him, so his son went out and ranged a deer and found one. And he got in his truck and drove away from it until he got further away than what his dad shot, so he could have a longer shot. As far as I really have no time for those kind of people. If you're making it about the long range hunting part, then you're not hunting anymore. You're shooting. So that's my complete personal individual feel on it. Everybody
I think it goes back to what Charlie said also, is that if you haven't ever made that shot before,
don't
practice it. Don't attempt it, especially on animals.
On a live animal,
I mean, if you're talking about taking an elk shot at 11, 12, 1,300 yards or whatever, which, I mean, elk's got a big kill zone in it, and the rifles that we're shooting, are capable of doing it. I mean, people do it every year. But if that animal took one step right the time that you pull the trigger, you could gut shoot it and you'd never find that elk. And now you have just killed an animal that you will, for no reason, that will go off somewhere and die a slow, painful, horrible death.
It'll suffer.
Yeah. And did that animal deserve that? Just because your ego said you could do it. Yeah. So and that's my personal feeling on it. So
but if you do have the skill set and equipment, a 300 Win Mag will probably kill anything.
If you've got the skill, I mean, I'm not here to tell you what you can and can't do. I mean, if you want to take 10,000 yard shot at a ground rat, I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
So, which I guess is the reason why I'm not a progressive liberal. If I don't want you to do something, I just won't do it. I'm not going to tell you not to do it.
Yeah, but didn't he ask what a good round at 1,000 yards was or something?
So that was part of it too. Is like, what's the most practical gun to harvest large game at 1,000 yards or more?
I'd say 300 Win Mag.
I think we got caliber. Yeah.
Yes, something in the 7mm Magnum 300 Win Mag. So one of the things that we do, and it's one of the things I try to talk about a lot, is we do things totally backwards. We pick a gun that we like and then a caliber we like, and then we put them two together and then we go to hunt. So if what you want to do is I want to shoot an elk at 1,000 yards. That's what I want to do, right? So okay, well then how big of a bullet do I need to go? How fast to have enough kinetic energy to kill that animal? And so it's probably going to be a big 7 or 30 cal or something like that. And so let's just say I know I need a 30 caliber bullet that weighs 200 grains. That's going, has at least 3,000 feet a second muzzle velocity. Well, now I know what bullet that I want. Now I'm going to go to what cartridge case is big enough to push that bullet that speed. A 300 Win Mag, 300 PRC, 300, Ultra Mag, 300 Rum, whatever. Or whatever. And, so now I know what cartridge case that I need to push that bullet that speed. And now I can figure out what gun I want. That's the way it should work. But we don't do that. We always pick the gun we like and then figure out the caliber we want to shoot at it.
You got anything to add to that, Brad, Charlie?
Yeah, that's the correct way to do it. The 300 Ultra, I do it. I get customers all the time where I'm at, and they shoot a lot, and they've got to manage that recoil. Now the silencers help that a lot. Yeah. Sure. But the typical 400 class bull is not stupid, and almost all of them are past 12 to 1,400, and they do have to make those shots. And I've seen it. So even if you make a liver shot, if you use my 300 Tejas, it's shooting the 210 grain at 3,300. So even a liver shot out there, it's done. It's not going to move. It's dead because of hydrostatic shock. But they have to practice. They do practice, or I won't sell them one.
Right. Well, and so that's what I'm trying to get at is, if it's all that you have and you're capable, that's one thing. Yeah. But if you get in your truck and drive away from your animal so to make it longer shot, then you're just an asshole.
Well, I heard more barn. Yeah, that's the first thing that develops is the asshole, and some never go past that.
All right. Next question. Do we answer his pretty well? I think.
Yeah. I think you should gun up enough to that it's going to be more than what enough or more than what you need, and then stay within your personal limits.
Yeah, and manage the recoil.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you don't see, even if it was a good shot, if you don't see where that shot went, then it doesn't matter. Because, I mean, animal could get away from you, go in a different direction, and you never find them anyway. Even if they go, 40 yards and die. If you don't know which direction you are and you don't know how to start, then you may not find that animal.
All right. I have found it.
Okay.
Hey, there it is.
There we go.
Charlie goes, where'd that shot go? Through my awning.
The awning shot.
The perfect 40 cal hole.
Yep.
And it's still working. There's
You just duct tape it?
nah.
Oh yeah, I've seen them in a lot worse shape than that.
Yeah, there's another one where he hit it halfway. So we did it twice.
So there it is, the infamous
Hey,
shot.
send me those. I don't have pictures. Well, I have the thing. Never mind. I still have it.
All right, next question is from Averett251. Says, what exactly am I looking to record when getting dope for my rifle? Thanks for all the education.
That's where it goes back to shooting at yard lines. Those computers will give you a dope sheet, but shooting yard lines, you're basically some people do it every 50 yards, some people do it every 100 yards. You get a good 100 yard zero, and then you go to 200, 300, 400, and as far out as you want to get dope. So when you're out in the field, you'll know what to dial in. But again, when the conditions change, you always got to get that 100 yard zero to dial your dope in.
Yeah, for that day.
For that day, and the conditions you're shooting in.
And for those who are new to listening and they don't know what dope is, tell them what dope is.
Data on previous engagements.
Perfect. Did you want to elaborate on any of that, James? Because you did.
So the biggest thing, the more information you write down, the more information you have, and that's why that's why we have data books or dope books or whatever. And so what you do is every time you go out and shoot, whether you got a computer there or not, if you'll write it down in your book, then not only do you have that hard copy information that you need to refer to one time, but you're putting that information in your brain too. So the more you write it down, the more times you see it and do it, the more you're going to start learning how to track your data. And so the whole idea before we had computers is every time when we went to a place, we would shoot, we'd write down, the distance, the elevation, the temperature, the humidity, the barometer, all the information that we could get, we could write all of this stuff down. And so we'd have it listed in our book. And then we went somewhere else. Let's say we went halfway around the world and now we're in Germany or whatever. And we look up, we know, okay, I've got this 575 yard shot that I've got to take. Well, in Fort Benning, I took a 580 yard shot, and it's about the same, the elevation was 1,000 foot off, and the temperature was 40 degrees off, and the humidity was different. And there used to be a math problem. You would plus or minus each one of those things, and you could get it fairly figured out within a minute of angle, half minute of angle of what your data should be to take that shot. And then after your dope book's this thick over, a year and a half, 2 years, or a lifetime of shooting, a lot of times you really didn't need the book anymore because you've referenced it so many times. You got a pretty good idea on what you need to be shooting, as opposed to now. I mean, it's just like nobody remembers telephone numbers anymore. I used to remember every human that I knew when I was a kid. I knew what their telephone number was. But now I barely know mine and my direct family, my wife and my kids, and I can't even say that I know theirs. But we just don't use that information anymore analytically like that.
Yep.
And so we don't keep it anymore. And we're totally reliant on computer. And I think one of the things Charlie was saying earlier about learning how to shoot without the computer first, and I'm a big fan of that too. Obviously we're gonna train you as much as we can train you to get you out the door to be successful or whatever. But I'm going to tell you, the more you do on the analog side in learning how to shoot, the much, much more proficient you're going to be once you add a computer or a reticle or whatever else into it.
Yeah, yep. It'll be imprinted.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you look at dope on all the different calibers, especially different 30 cals or whatever, all the come ups are within a minute or two of each other on all those new high speed calibers and everything. Yeah. Like if you look at the dope between 4 different calibers, they're all within a minute or two of each other at each yard line.
Except for a few.
Well, Brad's got some high speed special shit, but
well,
most factory ammo is pretty close.
Look, a 6.5 Creedmoor and a 300 Win Mag are almost ballistically matched.
Yep.
All right, next question. Actually, it's just a comment from Flood Munitions. I've reached out to 10, 20 yards, 1,020 yards on a man-sized silhouette. It was great hearing the delayed ping. I'm really hoping to reach a mile this year, though. That would be epic. What was was it like 12 seconds on the
On
shot?
the 5,000?
Yeah.
It was like, I think it was 14 or 16.
Yeah, 14 to 16.
14 to 16.
65 was 20, 21.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
I had time to take a dip and get a sip of beer.
Answer some.
And then get back on the scope.
Yeah. P-Man and Nikolai both are asking about Ragnar. We kind of answered that in the beginning of the show. So Charlie's got a new pup now. Ragnar got bit, unfortunately.
Yep. I got anti-venom for this one.
You got anti-venom, got bulletproof vest and everything for him?
Oh, yeah, he's good. There he is right there.
He's a good boy. Right there.
Chilling.
Oh, and I'm going to do an episode coming up, guys, on protective canines and specifically detection dogs. I got an episode with some of my buds that do that for a living. So that's going to be a good show. B. Hurst, 200 yards with 45.9 and slugs are fun on 16-inch gongs. Ha. Haven't been able to stretch out yet on bolt stuff. Hoping for 1,000 soon at Oak Ridge. And I told him be careful of the glowing towers if he's at Oak Ridge. Best group with Pepper 308 was 5-inch at 200 yards. Need more practice.
Yep.
I mean, practice makes perfect. Perfect practice makes.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Vepr 308 is going to shoot much better than about that anyway. I mean, they're good guns or whatever, but there's limitations to it.
Unless Brad makes you a barrel, Brad can make you a nice barrel.
But shooting handguns out to 200 yards it's a lot of fun. It's a whole lot of fun. Yeah, and it really shows you how much you move, because the gun's going to do the same thing every single time. So it shows you how much you move during trigger pull and sight alignments on those things. So
so growing up in Texas, I shot the silhouette handgun stuff. Yep. Everybody's laying down on the thing. I'm standing up with a revolver shooting 50, 100, 150, and 200.
That's right.
And then I went to the rifle range with my 50 Tejas handgun and hit the ram at 500 meters. 5.5-inch barrel, open sights, won a $100 bill. Third shot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Mikulicz made that 1,000-yard shot with the 9mm.
9, yeah, absolutely. Just
consistently, like 2 or 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jerry's an alien. He's just not telling anybody.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah, I mean, if there is evidence that aliens exist on this planet.
Right. Just look at the superhuman feats. Yep. That's right.
B. Hurst. Did I just read one of his? Realistically, though, how far would you take semi-auto 308?
Depends on the
900,000.
You do 1,000 all day with that.
Yeah.
I know somebody that went 1,376.
Yeah. Well, the ARs nowadays are almost as accurate as a bolt gun.
Oh man,
they used to not be that good.
I've got several Seekins SP10s that I'll shoot next to any bolt gun.
Yeah.
So.
I was gonna say I've been putting barrels on them, and man, they'll shoot just as good as a bolt.
Yeah, I got a 6.5 Creedmoor AR. Yeah, I've shot 3-inch groups at 1,000 on that thing.
Yep. It's got to have a good trigger.
Tell me what you got, and I meant to ask you this earlier. What you think of the arcs that are out?
The 6mm arc.
All of the arcs.
All kinds of arcs. I know that 6mm arc's badass. We were shooting it at a mile out in Utah.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
So it's legit.
Yeah, it's legit. Yep. And it's a small little round too.
Yep. Yeah, I built a couple of them. I like them.
Yeah, they're badass.
A couple more questions here, and then we'll award our prizes and wrap it up. Mustang Perry, when shooting that long of a distance, is it all skill and calculations, or is there an element of luck, which we kind of discussed that earlier? We're talking about the extreme long range stuff. Not trying to be mean, just coming from a place of ignorance that kind of distance, looking forward to the education.
Well,
there is a little luck involved, but preparation is definitely key. The more you prepare, there might be a little luck in there, but if you don't prepare, you're
Well, you
going
got
to need a
that
whole lot of luck.
specialized equipment too. You're talking about the
Yeah,
clamp.
equipment, everything.
yeah, and I've been doing it 40 years. So
Perfect practice makes perfect.
You make your own luck, but you still need to be lucky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything's got to fall into place when you're shooting that long.
Everything's got a little luck in it.
And to get a world record, does the target have to be the MOA size? If you go above that,
Yeah.
it's gonna count.
I don't know what the rules. I know they came out with some rules not too long ago, shortly after we did that. But yeah, they got a whole list of rules they got for the record now.
we were doing it for us and for our data. We didn't care about that.
Yeah.
But we can follow it. It's
We're
two
just seeing
rounds
it.
out of
We're just
five.
seeing if it was possible.
And you guys, specifically this is for Brad, but Charlie and Jim, you guys might be aware of this too. What kind of propellants are that maybe haven't hit mainstream yet that are being researched? You guys know of anything?
Yes, I do. There's some new
There's
stuff.
always something being worked on.
Yeah, there are. Give us a couple months because they're right in the middle of it. It is going to make a big difference.
As
Yeah,
far as-
What
Yeah.
we're doing,
I know the military's testing some out right now.
we're also coming out with some casings that, well, I designed 12 years ago and didn't patent, but stainless steel case heads. So like all the new high pressure, I did it 14 years ago. And it can hold 85,000 pounds and not blow a primer. And the guns can more than capable of holding it because it's holding the pressure.
Well, stainless is probably cheaper than brass anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Huh.
But it works. And then Reloader 25 is just hard to find, but that's been the best powder for the bigger cartridges. The most stable.
Which powder?
25 that we were using.
Oh yeah.
Reloader
What about Rotumbo? Did Rotumbo ever start making powder again?
Oh, there's lots of Rotumbo now.
Oh, is there? Okay.
It's back. And that's good for all packs.
H1000 is about the biggest thing. Like 300s, 338s.
Yeah, you ought to try the 4831 shortcut. It's really, really consistent.
Okay.
All right. Final question, and this is just kind of a, I guess, thought-provoking maybe. Will the prevalence of FPV drones on the modern battlefield reduce the number of snipers, marksmen in the military? My initial answer to that would be I wouldn't think so, because you're still going to need, that human element involved. But I don't know. If you guys,
Well, I think. You mean using drones as a sniper platform?
I think that's what he's talking about, using the drone instead of.
I thought he meant not employing snipers because the drones can find them or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's all the direct DF and stuff they can find. If you got anything electronic on anything, find you anyway. I went over to Ukraine a year and a half ago. Yeah, they had all that shit. If you had anything electronic on you, they could pinpoint you. And once you took one shot, they were launching artillery at you within like 5 minutes.
You think it's going to eliminate the sniper role?
I think we're going to have to come up with a counter drone thing, which they're already working on.
Yep.
They're trying a bunch of stuff out right now.
Yeah, it's a conversation we've had for several years now with different guys or whatever. The drone on the battlefield, even on the most simplest terms possible, is commanders, even more now than they've ever been before. Commanders are very risk adverse. If they can send an electronic thing up somewhere instead of sending soldiers to it, they're going to.
Yep.
So
I mean, to be honest with you, I think the next 10 years, the next war will be fought from a computer room using exoskeleton robots and drones and
from Las Vegas.
Unmanned there go. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to take boots on the ground to hold, but as far as getting to that point, we're walking to the place where we're going to hold. We're not fighting to it anymore.
Have you seen the robots they've got nowadays?
Oh, yeah, they're badass.
Freaking robots that can, it's like, what was that movie with Will Smith?
Yeah, iRobot. Yeah, they can shoot.
iRobot.
Yeah, they can shoot too. They can draw and shoot. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they got the belt fed ones. It'll be crazy.
AI. It's coming.
Almost intelligent.
Just need to come out with a personal EMP machine. You can shut everything down with one blast.
Oh, that's true. True. Until they come up with a way to defeat that.
Yeah, there's
All right,
always
so
a counter and everything.
let's award prizes. Let's do the SEAL one first, and I think Averett 251 was talking about dope question. I think I want to award him the SEAL one and done complete gun care kit. And what you guys are going to do is you're going to email me. If I've called your name, you're going to email me talkinglet@gmail.com. Tell me the episode. Tell me what you won, and obviously I'm going to need your address. So send that to me, and thank you for the question, Avery. Next, let's give away the Mission First. Again, I don't know what it'll be. Could be a dump tray, could be a holster, could be one of their drinky drinks. Never know. Might be an AR accessory or something. Let's give that to. I like the drone question. Let's give that to I Am Just Ken. So I Am Just Ken. You won the Mission First package. So shoot me an email. And then I think that very first question that you did, Jim, or Jacko, I think that was probably the most technical question that we had. We lost Jim. Jim dropped out. He was getting some bad internet there, so maybe he'll pop back on. But yeah, Jocko 3001922. I mean, if you're a real person, that looks like one of those bot things. But I don't think a bot can ask that intelligent of a question. So, Jocko, email me talkinglet@gmail.com. You win the patches. I had them up. What happened to them? Here they are. Share. Boom. So this is our new patch line that we're doing with 9.3 Tactical. If anybody wants these, then just PM on the grams 9.3 Tactical, or you can email me talkinglet@gmail.com. And I think again, this is to raise money for the show, to help raise money for the show. So they're $25 a patch. These are leather. I think these are iron-on, but I think you can do Velcro also. Or if you want all three, it's $50 for all three. Again, this is going into the show to help the show keep going, keep us cranking out awesome episodes like we had today. And we want your feedback. Feedback from what you liked, what you didn't like about the show, maybe shows that you want us to do upcoming. You want more of the espionage stuff. You want more of authors. You know, we were talking about the Shooter movie with Marky Mark earlier. Actually had Stephen Hunter, the author of, something Impact? What's the name of the book? But he's got a whole series of that character, Bob Lee Swagger.
Oh, yeah.
Stephen Hunter, had him on a couple of times. I mean, very interesting dudes. Had Jack Carr on, the Terminal List guy. So tell me more what you guys want to hear, because I'm relying on you to fund the show now, to keep us going, less on our sponsors, but we still are going to have sponsors. We're still going to do giveaways. Jim didn't come back. So. But that was a great show, guys. Was there anything maybe that we didn't get to that you want to make sure that you throw out there for this episode?
No, I think we're good. Appreciate you having me on.
I think we got all the angles covered there.
Covered a lot.
Yeah.
And like we said earlier in the show, if you guys are interested in Talking Lead hosting a long-range precision shooting course with Charlie, with Jim, get those guys together or separate, however we work it out. Email me talkinglet@gmail.com if you've got interest in that. You can get in touch with Charlie if you want to set up some direct training with him. How can they get in touch with you, Charlie?
Charlie Mike Precision, or Charlie Mike 176@gmail.com.
Charlie Mike at 176. Charlie Mike 176.
Yep, at gmail.com.
At gmail.com, or you can just get in touch with me and I can put you in touch with Charlie. Yep. If that's easier. We can make that happen. And the same thing with Jim. He said his website's down. just get in touch with me, and I can set that up as well. And then Brad, with again the Performance Guns, I had your website up. I think I may have stomped over it. What's your website again?
DoNotWantOne.com.
That's it.
That's
Do not
hilarious.
DONOTWANTONE.com, and you can check out what he's got, check out what he's done, and then if you want one of his rifles or you want him to build you something specific, he can do that too. Just go to his website. Is there a way to email you from there?
Yeah, the email's there. It's just perfguns@gmail.com. It's on there. Phone number is there.
Let me see. Here it is. Here's all the contact info right here. 801-731-8152. perfguns@gmail.com. And then you can go to the website donotwantone.com, which most unique.
Well,
gotta get some shirts and shit made with that.
I know. I have donotneedone.com too. So
that's pretty cool. But go and all our sponsors, go and support them. Again, they're what's keeping the show going right now. Mission First Tactical. Go to missionfirsttactical.com. Use the code LEADHEAD. Get 20% off anything at Mission First Tactical. I think it even works on their sale items. I mean, you can try it and see. But they've got some great products. Like I said, the holsters, the drinkware, the AR accessories. They're getting into the more things coming. The bags. I mean, even get into their bags. Their bags are phenomenal. I love their bags. And then Tactical RX. You guys want some great eyewear. I think, Charlie, you got some Tactical RXs. I think you've used their product before.
Yeah, they make good glasses.
Yeah, and what I really like about them is they fit under your hat.
Yeah, aren't they out of Colorado?
They are out of Colorado. That's right. Brett is out of Colorado. And if you guys use the code, here it is, Tactical RX, code TL20. You go to their website, tacticalrx.com, TL20, and it's 20% off any of their eyewear. They do prescription eyewear, eye pro. They've got polarized. They've got different models. This is the Mofo. No, this is the SOB. These are the SOBs. I really like the SOBs because they do fit perfect under my hat, because I like to bend my brim on all my hats, and I don't have to worry about it pushing it up or anything like that. And then over your over your ear pro, they're comfortable too. They don't really hurt your head. So they come with cool cases. It's these cool tactical case. But they carry other brands there too, and I think that discount works on anything that they've got on their website. But buy their stuff because it's the best. And then Gold's Gym. You want to get in shape. You want to be healthy. You know, that's part of this. You want to do long range stuff. You need to be healthy. You need to be in shape. Brad's lost, I don't know, how many pounds you say you lost, Brad?
65.
65 pounds, you know, and that's not just sitting around doing nothing. You know, he's working out, hitting the gym. So Gold's Gym of Tennessee. I've got the scroller down there. You get in touch with them. You go to their website, or you can call 615-956-6016, extension 2. Tell them Lefty sent you. They've got some special things. You heard it in the advertisement earlier in the show. You get a free personal training session, all kinds of stuff. Just give them a call. Go to their website, Gold's Gym of Tennessee, and they'll set you up with a membership. If you're not in Tennessee, call that number anyway, because they can get you in touch with whatever state you're in and get you set up with an awesome membership there. And then Seal One, we talked about Seal One. Leadhead, 25% off any of their products, and they've got their aerosol out now too. So the aerosol is out, it's available, and I've been using it. Seal One and Done. You can use it on your leather. You can use it on marine items specifically. This stuff works great with. You know, if you're going to be out on the salty sea or out on the lake, you can do it on your rod and reels. You can do it on your motors, motor parts, all that kind of stuff. Really good. product, still one and done. I had some more new codes. I think this is it. Firebird targets, TL15, get 50% off anything at Firebird targets. But there you go. Use these codes. Let these people know that you heard about them on the show. Slide Fire bump stocks. You get 15% off. Use code LEADHEAD at Slide Fire. You want to do some cool bump stock shooting because it's legal now. And oh, by the way, that tax stamp, they dropped the $200 on the suppressors, short barrel rifles, and all other weapons. Whatever you're paying, they dropped it. Doesn't take effect until January, I don't think.
Does that cover full auto stuff too?
No.
No.
No, it doesn't cover the full auto, but there is a lawsuit. I mean, we're saying, it doesn't really accomplish anything. We need it off the NFA list completely. I agree.
Oh. Well, they're talking about doing away with the NFA, aren't they?
That's what they're trying to do right now.
Yeah.
There's lawsuits in place, but you know how lawsuits go. So
yeah.
I mean, this is real. This is tangible. I mean, if you're saving $200, I mean, still it's something not ideal, not exactly what we want. It's still a violation of our rights, having to do the fingerprint and all that bullshit for this stuff. But take advantage of it. We've got a discount code set up with the Disavowed group, the guys at Disavowed Suppressors. And you just email Ethan at disavowedgroup.com, and let him know you're a lead head, and he will give you 15% off any of their products. He'll probably just put you in touch with a dealer or something like that. I don't think they sell direct, but he will get you guys 15% off any of their cans, any of their suppressors. Ethan, ETHAN at disavowedgroup.com. So there's you some even more savings right there. So that's it, lead heads. Go support the show. You can donate to us. I've got a Venmo account set up if you just want to send a direct donation to the show. It's at Talking Lead LLC. Buy our swag. Again, that's going to help. We've got plates. We've got the leadies. We've got the patches. More coming. So the more you guys buy, the more we'll diversify and make available to you. Charlie, Brad,
Yes,
thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. You've been good friends of mine and to the show for many years now. And anything that we can do, the lead heads or myself, just let us know. And we'll be happy to help
But we'll
out.
let you know. We do need to do another shot. We need to finish.
No. Yep.
I'm down. Don't tease me with a good time.
Awesome, brother. Good job on the show. Thanks for having me on here. And then,
Yeah.
let me know about that if you want to get together and do a course up there in Tennessee.
Yep, lead heads, email me. Let me know. It's going to all be dependent on your response if we set up one just for you lead heads. But, yeah, Charlie, we'll definitely do one either way because I'll talk to you about it offline, but I've got a group that I'm with now that
Oh, cool.
definitely is interested. So
Awesome.
lead heads, until the next episode, as always, keep your loved ones close and your firearms closer.
And your firearms
Closer and dialed in for 5,000 yards.
Yeah.
Or
exactly.
6.
Or 6 or 8, as the case may be. And big thanks to Jim also. He dropped off. I'm sure his wife, we exceeded his time with the kitchen pass. But we'll have him back on again soon. So, Leadheads, we are out.
All right. Later.